Greetings, everyone. I'm taking names. Keep checking in. See you in a moment. Alright, so we're getting there. Slowly getting everybody checked in. Give me a second. right. I'm going to... So, there we go. It's amazing that we're doing this again. Can you believe it, people? Nikki, because you care. Thank you. So we'll put that towards the general, all right? You have to get your own post-it note. That's the only way this works. Okay. So I'll go check you in. Don't you worry, Nikki. Got it. Let's get Nikki all set up over here. And I saw someone else. Who was that? Hold on. Let's get Nikki sorted out. Thank you very much, Nikki. That's going towards the general. Super, super, super. Doesn't get much better than this, people. Now, I got Topaz. Hold on, but there was someone else I just missed. Give me a second. Who was that? Who did I just miss? I know. No, wait a minute. Where are you? I got Linda. Paula. I know it. I knew it. There you are. Greetings, Paula. Greetings, Paula. Thank you for hanging out with us. Nikki is driving home, probably from a very busy day, psychically connecting with everybody. Yes. And Love Triber's here. Boo. Yes, I'm really, really scared. I am really, really scared, Love Triber. Yeah, you really scared me out of my seat here. Thank you very much. Yay, Love Triber. Yes. Greetings. Wow. Wow, we got the A-listers here, people. We have the A-listers here. We're missing a couple bodies, as you can tell. We'll see if they show up. Some of them may be having troubles. Who knows? Maybe they got flat tires. Maybe they've got, radiator fluid that leaked out of their vehicle. Maybe they are otherwise engaged. That happens, people. Okay. And I got Love Triber. I got Polar Scorpio. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so do what you got to do, Path. Thank you for being here. Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to clean up, okay? It's been a busy day, obviously. Probably painting a lot of inanimate objects and turning them into new entities, okay? Yes, being an artist is very messy. Path can testify, okay? And so can a few others here. Primary is very artistic. Okay, and who else is the other artist? There's some other artsy-fartsy types here as well. I know you're out there. Okay, oh, Love Triber's got company. Okay, no problems. It's okay, lucky for you. Nikki's getting very demanding about the kind of chocolate therapy that she receives now. Getting very, very, very picky. It's got to be not just chocolate, but it has to be chocolate with caffeine over 100 milligrams. What is that, per bite or per bar? What is that? Okay. All right, so we're listening here. Let's just put this out over to the side. Now, here's something I wanted to mention. It's just an idea. So, Topaz put in a double duty, right? Okay, got it. All right, so here we go. Look at this. Okay, so Topaz put in a double duty, and she's offered half of that, the other half of it, paying it forward to someone in need. So what I would like to suggest before you all rush to grab the extra wild card here, what I'd like to do is invite a complete stranger. If you are out there. If there's anybody out there right now who is watching the show live, and maybe you've watched it for years or just a few weeks, or you just showed up completely out of the blue, you've never done this before, and you've never had your own personal, private tarot reading live in person, I would like to invite you to step forward. Yep. Step forward. Introduce yourselves. Hang out with the cool kids. This is the cool kids crowd, by the way. And this is the VIP selection. Okay? A few bodies missing, but, that happens. I know you would love one. LES. I can see that. What I was going to do, I was trying to reach out to a complete stranger. Okay? Steve Stanel has just admitted that there is no one stranger than himself. Okay? Got it. Let's just take Steve at his word. Why not? It's confession time for Steven. There we go. So let's have a look. So anybody out there, I'm just kind of daring you. I'm actually kind of daring you. In fact, I'm going to put you in first place here. I'm daring you to identify yourself and set yourself up for the opportunity to have your own personal live reading here on Tarot Lumination Sunday Night Live. I know, it's amazing. Yep, think about it. Okay, looks like Steve's very, very tired. It's probably been a very tough week. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look. So, I put the word out. Thank you, Laura, for understanding. We'll wait and see. Give it, aha. Shay C. Ha ha ha. Steve always says silly things. Oh, really, Shay C. How would you, Shay C, know? Uh-huh. The only reason I'm asking, Shay C, it's simply because we've been doing this for a few years now, And most of the people here tonight are folks that I recognize, and most of them recognize each other. And then all of a sudden, Shay C shows up, and Shay knows Steve. So there's some kind of like connection. There's some kind of like insider stuff going on here. But as far as I'm concerned, Shay C, you seem like a complete newbie. So just consider yourself in the possible realms for a reading. Let's see. I would like to have some. Oh, he ends up in your chats all the time. Shacy, you're new. Ah ha ha ha. I knew you were new. I know you're new. I know. I know that you're new. Okay. So, here's the question. Dear Shay C, as a complete utter newbie here, do you feel you would be up for it to have basically look at it this way. This yellow post-it note here is very valuable for somebody. And if you don't want it, I will keep inviting newbies. If there's a complete, utter newbie out there who wants to go at it head to head, we'll do some cage fighting between any other newbies and Shay C. Okay, this will be full-on live, no Paula. You've been here for a while. I know you would like one. Laura Ellen Smith would like one too. But I'm putting this out for the complete, utter newbies. We have a self-defined Shay C, who is a brand newbie. And I'm inviting as many others as possible because we're going to set up a cage fight between all the newbies until somebody wins, okay? Shay C has already announced that Shay will be the winner. Shay was feeling lucky. We should probably put it on a clock, okay? Like, if we don't get a newbie showing up within, let's say, the next minute or so, we'll just automatically award this to Shay C. If somebody feels that they deserve it, on top of Shay C, and they're a complete newbie, then you are invited to jump in and participate in live, digital, online tarot cage fighting. Okay? That's what it's like. That's what we do here. It's an incredibly competitive environment. And these yellow post-it notes are very valuable. They are deeply sought after by the uninitiated, okay? Well, we could flip a coin. Yes, that's true, Shay C. But as yet, you have no contenders. There is nobody out there who has dared to face off against Shay C. Okay? So you must be very, very, very Punya Aurora. Hi, it's your birthday. Okay. All of a sudden, it's everybody's birthday. I get it. Okay. Yep. Basically, Paula, what I'm doing is I'm making up the rules as I go along. Okay? I'm doing it because I can. Simply because I can. And I'm just doing. Joe King is here. Ho, 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 ho. Ha, 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 ha. Hello, Punya Aurora. I got to check in some names. Hold on. I got to check in some people. I'm getting way behind here. Shay C. I'm going to mark you over here as a complete newbie. New, okay. There we go. And we got Paula Scorpio over here. And I just saw Joe King. There's Joe King over there. And I think I just saw some, Punya Aurora. Aurora. There we go. So we got most everybody checked in. And it's your birthday. Oh my gosh. Do a newbie draw. I only have one newbie who has dared to announce themselves. Everybody is intimidated by Shay C. They're not daring to put themselves on camera or on the chat. Okay? You know, it's just, maybe Shay C's got this very powerful aura and she's just scaring everybody else away. Don't worry, dear newbies. Tarot Lumination makes up the rules as we go along. Trish V. Aha, Trish V. You sound like a newbie. You sound like someone who'd be willing to go into a cage fight with Shay C and duke it out to see who's the winner here. All right, let's have a look. So I'm going to start a whole new page. And we're starting the new page with Trish V. You'll notice that we don't have any moderators here tonight, so things can get pretty out of control. I'm just letting you know. Let's have a look. Over here, we have Trish V. So, dear Trish V, you have just been checked in, so you're now officially one of the cool kids. Okay? Now, here's the deal. If you weren't here earlier, you might not have noticed it, but Topaz Zen, who is an actual member, okay? Topaz Zen is an actual member, put money in the SuperChat pot for a reading for herself, a broad general reading. But she did a double duty to pay it forward for some lucky person to get a reading, okay? So this card is essentially free to somebody out there, okay? And so I made the decision, because I can, to invite complete utter newbies to step forward, to dare to put their names forward. And we now have two. We have Trish V and we have Shay C. So right now, I'm going to put you guys on a post-it note. And we're going to create a little microscopic lucky draw. Okay? All right, there we go. Okay, Shay C. You get a post-it note to go into the lucky draw. And Trish V is going to get a lucky post-it note to go into the draw. Yes. There we go. And so what that's going to look like? Well, you might wonder, dear people. I will show you. Watch this. Dun, da, da, da. Yes, I know. It is very much like the Grammys. It's sheer luck who wins. Yeah. But what's going to happen, we're going to use the magic box here, and we're going to do a lucky draw. So we've got two people lined up. I would love to have one more into the pot. At least one more into the pot. So if there's any complete, utter newbies out there, and you have the courage to sign yourself in and chat on the screen and announce yourself, and you're willing to go into a cage fight between Trish V and Shay C, and just give it up to the luck, then please announce yourself. And then the winner will get the lucky reading. Okay? Thank you very, very much. All right, let's have a look. First of all, I need a sip of some of my highly refined Scottish grain juice. Cheers, everybody. Okay? Shacy, you may not be laughing in a moment. When we actually open up the live lucky draw and it turns into a cage fight, you might regret it. Who knows how Trisha behaves? She might have some amazing moves that you've never heard of before. And who is this? Is there another one out there? Is there anyone brave enough, courageous enough to chat themselves in here and face off against Shay C and Trish V? I know it's pretty scary stuff. I've got an idea, folks. So please bear with me. Okay? Is there alcohol? What did you say, Shay C? No, it's just basically very concentrated apple juice. Well, it's not even apple juice. It's actually it's a fermented grain juice. Yes, it's absolutely delicious. And so what I'd like to do is consider the possibilities of this cage fight coming up very, very soon. So I'd like to get everybody ready to meet your opponents, okay? So please allow for this any moment now. I'm going to get you guys set up here. And I don't really know what you guys look like, so I'm taking a big gamble. And we're going to go for it, okay? Sorry, Steve. Okay. All right. Let's have a look. I am going to go over here. Okay. All right. Now, this is just sheer luck. Right now we have Shay C and Trish V. So who's going to be the other one over here? Okay. We'll leave it open. I'm just going to leave it open. If there's anyone else, fine. So, give me a chance, people. We'll get right back. Okay? Thank you very, very much. All right, let's have a look. First of all, I have to do some homework and get back to our normal viewpoint. As you know, we broadcast from the Lumination space station, and sometimes there's a bit of an extra delay in the signal, and well, we just deal with that, okay? That's what we do here. Give me a second. I'm just trying to get set up here with my transmissions, because the staging has to be just right for you guys, okay? All right, let's have a look. And let's have a look. Let's go back over here. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I know, Joe. I hang out with some pretty cool kids here. So, anyway, we'll leave this open for now. I'm going to put Shacy over here. And I'll leave that on the side. I'm going to put this on the side over here. I'm going to leave this one blank here. I'd like to have 3 in the pot. Okay, that's what I'm suggesting here. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside until we have one more contender. Someone who feels like it. Let's have a look. Meanwhile, okay, let's have a look. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Okay, it is Sunday Night Live. We did all that. We're here. Thank you very much. And yeah, don't be scared. Don't be scared, Topaz. Don't be scared. Give me a second. All right. Now. All right, let's see. So, where are we? We have a couple of readings lined up. It's all paid for by Topaz Zen, by the way. If anyone else is interested, if anyone else likes something, please pop it open into the super chat, and we'll go for it. We've got an opening here. I'm trying to enthuse the newbies, anybody who's out there who's never done this before. It's Punya's birthday. Oh, I see what you're hinting at. I know what you're hinting at for Punya. Okay? I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Got it. Like a birthday reading. Aha. Yes. Right. Good point. Good point. All right, let's have a look. I'm going to go back. Now you've got me wondering what to do here. I think what I'll do, just to make it a little bit more fun, since we don't seem to have any other visitors, I'm just going to give Punya a freebie. It's just going to go on the house. Okay? Punya is Scorpion, and this is going to be a birthday freebie. Okay, why not? How about that? Taylor Swift is here, of course. Oh, it's so cool. I'm so glad you like hanging out here, Taylor. Maybe what we'll do later is play this song. I kind of wrote it for you, okay? It's called Hey-O, okay? In fact, I think I'm going to do this right now. It's to celebrate all the ladies. I hope you don't mind. Haha, no, I'm okay. I don't need a read. I want the newbies to get it. Okay, wow. Okay. I know that, Taylor. We're coming up to Sagittarius season soon anyway, so don't worry. Alright, so Punya doesn't want words, so Punya is going to give it away back to them. Okay, but I was actually going to give it away for free anyway. Ho, 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 ho. So I'll put that over here on the side just in case. So we've still got a cage fight open up for Shay and Trish. We can... Oh. Yeah, what we'll do is that what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Yes, okay, I know. It's overwhelmingly ladies here. That's fine, Joe. You should be happy. You should be grateful. Attitude of gratitude, Joe. So I'm going to put these over here. Punya is birthday. I'm going to turn this one upside down because there's some confusion associated with this card, even though I don't do reversals. We're just going to figure out what to do with that in a little bit, okay? Lena is here. Good evening, Lena. I got to check in Lena just to say hi. I think we already checked in. Bunya and Joe. Okay. Lena is in the house. No, GFX. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Okay. Yes, we're going to do it. This is just for you, Taylor. So everybody, just imagine you're at a Taylor Swift concert, okay? And Taylor Swift is doing the live Terra Illumination. Actually, it's almost like, oh, you know what? You know what we should do, Taylor? I'm not kidding, Taylor. What we could do, this would be very, very tempting. I hope you don't mind, but I would love to invite you, dear Taylor Swift. I would like to invite you to a carpool karaoke with Terra Illumination, okay? And I'm not sure if I can show that to you, but it would be something like this, okay? And what we'll do is it'll be just you and me hanging out doing carpool karaoke, okay? I would love to do this with you. I would truly love to do this, and I am willing to do this with you, okay? But you have to be very, very brave, okay? To hang out with Terra Illumination. Yeah, I'm not kidding, okay? Don't worry. This is what I'm suggesting. Carpool karaoke, right? Terra Illumination with Taylor Swift. Terra Illumination can drive. That's fine by me. That's fine. I'll put myself over here. And we'll put Taylor over here. Okay? How about that? And we'll sing the Terra Illumination song called Hey Oh. Okay? So how about that? And you can do all your dancing, all your cartwheels, or you can bring your whole stage. But when you're doing carpool karaoke with Terra Illumination and we're singing the Hey Oh song, it's just you and me. Okay? It's just you and me. Okay? And because you're rich and famous, it'll help Terra Illumination, put the song out. Okay? Okay? Here we go. And I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And I'm sorry if this is not a tarot typical reading. Okay, here we go. It goes like this. Hey, oh. And it sounds like this.
It was one of those days where everything goes wrong. My hair fell out, my heel broke off. I slept through my alarm. I missed the bus to night school. My stalker walked me home. I sprayed his face with mace and then he left me all alone. Hey, better not tonight. I'm gonna dance my stress away until the break of daylight. Hey, there's nothing I'd rather do. You may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you. A lot of my relationships, they end up in the ditch. So I'm getting counseling for
Yeah. Thank you, Taylor. I'm glad you liked it. I really like it. I think you would do a superb job on that one. Truly superb. Okay? Yes, the counter melodies and the harmonies, it's all part of it. It's like the whole song was custom written for Taylor Swift. We really, really ought to get on with the show, people. I've been goofing around for a while now. Now, I don't know why. I'm just letting you know that the YouTube system is showing that there's a lot of buffering going on for you guys out there. All the systems look really good over here, but I don't have any control over what YouTube does or how it does it. Yes, J-Lo. Exactly. Okay? Exactly. Thank you for sharing that, Taylor. Okay. Okay. Hey. No fights. I don't want to get into too many fights. We've already got this thing going on here between Shay and Trish V. Okay. So let's just put this on the side for a moment. I think what I'd like to do is just dive right in and start with the little miniature lucky draw, if you don't mind, okay? So give me a second here. I'm just going to do this. You know, because it's such a tiny show tonight, there's hardly anybody here. What I'm thinking is just to have fun, I might just end up giving away a bunch of things, okay? So let's have a look. You know, and it's almost like it's rude and it's offensive to set up a cage fight when we don't actually have to. Punya went home. She said she just wanted to let everybody know that it's her birthday. And Punyat's already gone home for the night, so happy birthday, Punya. It's been a pleasure. And you didn't want a reading anyway, so don't worry. Okay, so we'll just put that over onto the side. And, hey, Jeffrey's here. Aha. I gotta check in Jeffrey. Jeffrey, it's just a mini lucky draw, and I'm thinking, because I'm making up the rules as I go tonight. Not that there are a lot of rules to begin with. I've got to check in Taylor Swift. Hold on. First of all, I don't want to forget Taylor. Taylor Swift, in case you don't know, there's a dream that I had about you, and I put it on the Storytime playlist on the channel here. It's a very, very important video, and if you haven't seen it yet or heard it yet, I would recommend that you, Taylor Swift, go and check in with the Lumination Storytime videos, and you'll see that there's a story about a dream about Taylor Swift. Yep. I'm going to check in Jeffrey Longoria. Thank you very much. Super duper. All right. So it looks like the connection isn't so bad. It looks terrible from here, but apparently it's not so bad out there. Good evening, Jeffrey. Thank you for hanging out. Here's what I was thinking. Here's what I'm here it is. Like it's a very, very quiet evening, and you know, I just want to be able to let's say fill the seats, fill the spots. So how about this? You know, like sometimes it's almost every time that we do a newbie, they get a free hazing reading anyway. And so what I'm thinking is just going double duty, doubling down, okay? And it'll we're doing it for entertainment purposes, okay? Yep, entertainment purposes. Thank you, Taylor. Yes, we will do that. Good night. Good night. Good night. Thank you for hanging out. Hey, as stars are here, and Upasti's back. Oh my gosh. Good night, Taylor. Thank you so much. I got to check in as Starzy. Thank you very much. And I'm going to check in for Upasti's purr. Hey, Upasti's purr. I saw a couple of links that you sent. Thank you very much. In case you're not aware, people, Upasti's purr is a animal psychic. So if you've got any pets and you need psychic connections with your pets or your pets from the great beyond, Upasti's purr is your go-to person, okay? How about that? Jeffrey Longoria, okay. Wait a minute, I just saw something. Oh, wait a minute, I just missed something off the screen. Oh, okay, hold on. I got to check in for Jeffrey. Jeffrey's going to get what we could do here. I'm going to put something on here for Jeffrey. All right, Jeffrey, you got it. Now, that's a very generous super chat. So, what I'd like to find out, because there's no notes there from you, would you like to put this towards a personal reading over here? Or would you like to put that towards the group reading over here? So just let me know. I'll leave you up in the middle for the moment until we're stabilized. And any minute now, we're going to start actually getting on with the readings themselves. Yes. Meow. All right, I need a little bit of a top up here. And then we're going to get on with the show, people. So you can actually get your readings, okay? I mean, seriously, there are really not a lot of rules here. I mean, every show is different. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And we're just literally winging it right now. That's what they call in the tarot reading industry. They call it winging it, in case you haven't heard of that before. Jeffrey, just let me know if you type it on the screen. Greetings, Ubasti, and thank you very much. Now, I think what we'll do, we'll just slide this over here, slide this over here, get everything set up, and we're going to start doing some readings, people. Now, since we're going to start with the kind of donation from Topaz Zen in terms of paying it forward, we're going to pick either Shay or Trish V, okay? Now, okay, we're going to toss a coin here. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to toss a coin. I'm actually going to use the magic box. Okay, if you don't mind. It's the same thing, effectively. We leave it up to chance. We're going to put it totally up to chance. Shay C, you're going to go in here. Okay, thank you very much. And Trish, you're going to go in the box too. It's only two of you in a huge box, I know. So it might feel a little bit strange as you get bounced around, okay? So hold on very, very tightly. As you can see, there's no distinction between either of these post-it notes. There's no way to tell, there's no way to cheat, there's no way to fudge it. Okay? So let's have a look. Okay? Wait a minute, so what's that? What's that? Fritilley appeared. Where did Fritilley come? Fritilley's here. Aha! Okay, hold on. Okay. Lena is what's called reaching out. Lena is reaching out at this moment, as they call it. And I'm going to put the lid on, just to make it official, because this is going to be our very first reading of the evening, people. Thank you very, very much. Okay, here we go. And then whoever didn't win first goes second. That's all. That's all it is. Trish V. Oh, you just... All right, okay. Here we go, people. I'm just going to pull it up here. This is it. This is it. Who is it? Who's it going to be? Trish V, you just bought your way to the front of the line. Thank you very, very much. And so, this is going to be Shay C. Shay C is going directly after. Okay, so that is the order of play this evening, folks. Okay? Literally, this is better than Las Vegas. This is better than going to Las Vegas. So we're going to start with Trish. Okay? Thank you very much. And then after Trish, we're going to go to Shay C. And then after Shay C, we're going to go to Topaz Zen. Okay? Get it? Get it? Get it? So, All right, that's reasonable. I'm going to leave this one up here. This is still hovering for Jeffrey. I'll put it on this side for now, just to, because that's a bias, because he didn't leave any notes. We'll just put it kind of on this side. So if we just kind of drift into the land of not knowing, then we'll just automatically put it towards the group reading. Thank you very much. Trish, prepare yourself. Some of you have done this already. You know what to do. Goggles, face mask, gloves, hazmat suit, extra bottled water inside of your hazmat suit, please. Flame retardant. You might also want to bring a taser and some mace. Okay, these are very, very handy during a Tarot Lumination reading. Thank you very much. I know it's a toss-up, Jeffrey. I know between Tarot Lumination and Las Vegas. It's different for everybody. All right, let's start. We're going to keep it very, very simple tonight. I'm going back to the most basic deck that we have. Okay, just to keep it simple and to reduce possible ambiguity. Okay, Topaz. Back in a few. You've got plenty of time. We've got 2 readings in front of you. Okay, got it. I get you. Career plus, okay. Got it. Thank you, Nikki. So we're going to go for career. So it is personal. And we're going to put the rest over towards the group. Thank you very much. So I will put that over here. So that's how it's going to go. Okay. Jeffrey Longoria loves Vegas, baby. All right. All right, here we go. So stay there. Here we go. We're going to start with Trish, then Shay, then Topaz, then Jeffrey. Got it? Okay. All right, let's just shake it up a little bit. Trish, we're going to go completely blind for you. Completely and utterly blind. So what are the messages that we have here from Tarot Lumination for Trish V here tonight? Okay, regarding the subject of whatever it happens to be. And it will most likely be obvious to you once you get deeper into the reading, but sometimes it won't click until way afterwards, okay? Shacey, don't worry. We're not on you yet, okay? Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We'll get to you shortly. We're going to start with Trish. Here we go. Thank you, Jeffrey, by the way. Thank you. And for all of those who are observing while they're doing their cooking, their showers, their cleaning, brushing their teeth, doing their nails, lounging in their pajamas, just settle down and enjoy yourselves, okay? So Trish, here we go. This is kind of what it looks like. This is what we do here at Tarot Lumination. Invite your invisible friends to gather very, very close to you, because that's what we do here. And then bless yourself, number 1, okay? Bless the cards, bless every single card, bless the whole channel, bless everybody for being here. All these, let's say, the lingerers, all the casual observers from outside who are not checked in but would wish they could if they had the courage, but it's okay, okay. Shay, here's a recommendation. If you've got a very long extension cord for your phone charger, just plug it in, okay? Oh, and primary is painting live as we do this. By the way, we're going to have what's called, by the way, we should announce this. Stay there. Don't go away, people. Don't go away. Guess what? Dun, da, da, da. We're going to have something coming up soon called An Evening With, and guess who it is? Primary Feathers. So I haven't got the date in front of me right now what it is, but we're going to be checking in. Tarot Lumination will be driving, and Primary Feathers will be in the interview seat over here. Okay, just letting you know. All right, now I want to get everything set up here so I can go back to let's say, what we normally do. Give me a second here. I have to do some what are called technical adjustments so that I can actually do the readings here properly. It takes it just takes a little bit of what I guess you could call it manipulation to do this stuff. So that's what we're going to do. Oops, okay, I'm messing up all my post-it notes. There we go. All right, now, this is it. Okay, Trish, I'm going to put Jeffrey onto the side over here at the bottom, and we're going to move everybody up, because Trish is now going into center stage. Then it's going to be Shay, then Topaz, and then Jeffrey. Thank you very much. Okay, here we go. All right, so we did kind of a little miniature blessing. Trish V is completely and utterly new. You're very brave to be here. Thank you very much, Trish V. I'd like to raise my glass to you. What are the messages that we have for Trish V today regarding the subject matter of ... in her life that will become apparent as we get into the reading, okay? So settle in. Settle in. This is it. All right, here we go. Cards are well shuffled in advance. No jumpers, no flyers, no reversals. We're just going to keep it very simple. This is the Tarot Lumination situational spread. They use the same spread when they're in the situation room at the White House with the president and all the chiefs of staff. Everybody, okay? Here we go. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges, and here's how we're going to handle it. And may the heavens help you, Trish. We're going to look at this card in a second. I consider it the weather, circumstantial energies around you, like gravitational fields, environmental influences, friends, family, jobs, workplaces, the weather, let's say like cosmic events. I think of it also as the planets, because they have such an influence, whether we like it or know it or not. And you have the Eight of Swords. So, my feeling for you, Trish, is that the heavens, your invisible friends, your spirit guides want you to know that you're doing a really, really good job of tackling some very challenging circumstances right now, okay? As though you are kind of in a video game challenge contest, okay? They are totally there for you, okay? You can't see them. They're essentially, from your perspective, they might feel completely invisible, but they are right there, okay? In the meantime, you are down here on Earth dealing with multiple conflicting, confusing, let's say, challenging aspects to your life from every single possible direction that you can imagine, okay? And so you end up like in a maze, in a puzzle, in a jigsaw puzzle, like one of those kids in an amusement park that has to go into one of those garden mazes. And the thing is, this is part of your destiny, okay? It's like this is a chapter in life that you knew you would encounter and that you're going to have to encounter. And part of it's very scary, but also part of it is perfectly natural. It's like, I knew this was coming. I knew it. I knew it, and now I have to deal with it. But you don't have to worry too much because you've got what I would call divine guidance. Okay, let's have a look at the situation itself. Okay, so we're talking about the Four of Cups. Energy flows where attention goes, okay? Dear Trish, so let's just say you're like, 7 billion other people on the planet where it's very easy to become preoccupied with everything that's not working in your life, okay? It would be totally understandable with the circumstantial entities around you. It would be very, very easy to slip into the energy of remorse, sadness, grief, woe is me, coulda, woulda, shoulda. If only, if only, if only. And a lot of that is to do with the past. A lot of that is to do with regrets. Looking back at one's life as kind of like like an old movie, a whole series, like a huge episodic Netflix series that went on and on and on, and this and this and this happened, and you're at a point where you're in the story right now, and it's kind of at this very deep kind of low point where you're looking at like, oh my gosh, what happens now? What now? What now? How are we going to get out of this? How are we going to get out of this slump? Because there are a lot of challenges that you are facing right now, Trish. But to me, it feels like they're very subtle challenges. And most of it, of course, is in the mind. Okay, because so many of us live our lives through the mind. But because you are a human being and you are female, there's probably a pretty high connection between what you're thinking and sensing in your mind and how that transcribes and feels in terms of your body. And so you might be feeling a strong connection between circumstances and events and, let's say, planetary influences, how I call it the weather, and your sense of remorse, the sense of sadness here, okay? Like, what have I done wrong? What am I doing wrong? What is it that I keep doing wrong that seems to continuously deny me the love, the fun, the emotional richness that I deserve? Whereas, it's still there, okay? But it's a question of perception, okay? Perception. Some people say perception is reality. So maybe a certain like super high power physicist would say, yes, that's true. But we have to change your attitude. And so when you do the attitude of gratitude thing, when you understand that energy flows where attention goes, you can realize like, oh my God, I'm getting sucked up in my problems. I'm getting so absorbed in my problems that that's the only thing I know. In other words, my identity is my problems. My problems are my identity. And then until somebody like Tarot Lumination shakes you up and wakes you up and kind of goes and tells you that, then you wouldn't realize it. You just wouldn't know. So I think that's the purpose of you being here tonight, is to realize that you have become your problems. Your identity has become your problems. And that's not really the full picture. Love still exists above and beyond and outside all of this, but it's a question of attitude, perception. So how do we deal with this very, very delicate and very difficult terrain of perception? Okay? What are the challenges? Okay, to me it looks like the fear of the future, of not actually knowing where your life is going or how it's going or why it's going. What is the meaning? What is the purpose? Why am I here? What am I doing here? What am I supposed to do with all my loving energies, all my intellect, all my gifts and talents, and all the love that I deserve and all the love that I'm willing to offer? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. With the Two of Wands here, to me it looks like there's an awful lot of, let's say, for all these 8 swords over here, there's probably 8,000 equivalent over here in terms of like, well, what am I going to do with myself? What are the seeds that I have planted in my life and what is starting to come to my way? I have to be incredibly aware of the decisions that I'm making going forward, because my feeling is that this reading might be really kind of disorienting for you, Trish, in that you might not have had a reading like this before, and you end up in a situation like you just stumbled here on the channel, and all of a sudden you're hearing things that perhaps you wouldn't have wanted to hear, but you're hearing them. And part of it is like, wow, okay, that's great, but the other part is like, wow, I wish I'd never shown up, because now I'm hearing things that I don't want to hear. So with the Two of Wands, you might feel like, gulp, I'm scared to make really important decisions about what to do with my life going forward. And why is that? It's because you might be so wrapped up and immersed in everything that's not working. And that puts, it just becomes like what I would call a negative feedback loop. And then it makes it very, very hard to understand your destiny, understand that there's any kind of sense of meaning, mission, or purpose or direction. And so that becomes makes it even worse, okay? So let's have a look. How are we going to deal with this so we can like basically snap you out of it, okay? Okay, my feeling is that you're going to have to, the way to deal with it is to understand that in some ways you're going blind just like we're doing on this reading. You're going blind. And what you need to know will be revealed to you when you need to know it. So it might feel as though you are a little, let's say, forsaken, until you get those little momentary glimpses of like this miniature Ace of Cups here, and life and love that comes to you. But the thing is, that comes through the process of decision making. And the ultimate decision is to love thyself and then get yourself out of this negative feedback loop. This looks to me like a very, very subtle, deeply ingrained negative feedback loop that you've been carrying with you in your life for a very long time without even knowing it. It's almost like having a computer virus deep inside your system that you hardly know is there, but it makes you wonder, like, well, what the heck is wrong? What the heck is wrong? And then it doesn't destroy your life, but it undermines your joy and the love. And so with the High Priestess here, my feeling is that it's time for you to know things that you've never known before. So it might mean that it's time to, I don't want to like push this on you, but it might be an idea. This is going to sound really self-serving here, Trish, but you might be like an ideal, let's say, candidate for someone who needs a reading. Okay? More than what we're doing right now. So I'm just kind of dropping a hint here, okay? And then what happens is you get a glimpse beyond the veil, and you start to see beyond your three-dimensional reality and the negative feedback loop that's going on here, and you realize, like, wow, there really is a chance, there's an opportunity for me to break out, but it means going beyond the veil. It means delving deeper into the mysteries of life that I've never really considered doing before. Okay? A lot of people are absolutely terrified of the esoteric things like, hypnosis or tarot readings or past life regression or mediumship or psychic interventions, whatever you want to call them. When you go to one of those TV shows or your local traveling psychic medium and they host an event in your town and everybody shows up and they pay $500 for a reading, okay? All I'm suggesting here is that the way to handle it is understand that there's an awful lot more going on in your life besides your problems. You, Trish, are not your problems, okay? You are you. You are loving and you are loved, okay? At the core here, you are, let's say, struggling with decisions about going forward. And to me, it feels like it's time to get in touch with the higher frequencies, the great beyond, the mysteries. And we'll have to figure out that on another day, another time, okay? Thank you very much. I hope that helps you, Trish. You're going to be just fine. To me, it looks like you're going to have to almost like do one of those things like, it's almost like this. To me, it feels like this, okay? In terms of, this was like, whoa. Pretend that I'm Trish, okay? Just imagine that I'm Trish, and I'm looking at my own reading. I'm kind of going like, oh, that's weird. I've never imagined I'd get a reading like that. Oh, okay. I see what you're getting at. It's just that it's unexpected and it puts you kind of in an awkward place. But it does open a door. Okay? The High Priestess. It's like, think of it as a gateway to the great beyond. Okay, Trish? Thank you very, very much. Dear Trish, that's your reading. Up next, we have Shay C. Shay C, you are up next, okay? Shay C. Let's shuffle this all up, people. I'm going to put on a little tiny tune here just so I can just do something. Give me a second, okay? Just give me a second. I need to get prepped up. That's it. All right, let's have a look. Oh, Basti is putting all these cool icons to explain everything. Hey, wait a minute. I got to check in JGF. I didn't see you. Forgive me. Got you. Wait a minute. Getty's here too. Switching out names. I know what you're doing. I know you. Got you. Okay. And I'm going to put in JGF up here too. Okay? Got you, JGF. Okay? So let's have a look, people. Shay, you are up. Thank you for your courage in presenting yourself here on the Tarot Lumination channel. Okay. This is what it's like. Okay. Okay, Shay, we're going to go completely blind, just like we did with Trish. Okay? Hope you don't mind. Frittilly, thank you for helping out, helping everybody to understand what's going on here. Sometimes I hardly know myself. Thank you, Getty. Thank you so much. JGF is quietly observing in the background. JGF is flying his, what do they call them? Those things, those whirligigs that fly up in the air with cameras, and they watch down over the world. Drone pilot. JGF is a drone pilot, everybody, just letting you know. So keep your eyes open and look up to the skies. Bless this deck. Bless every single card. Bless you, Shay. Bless this channel. Bless the cameras. Bless the electricity. Bless the platform. Bless the internet. Yay. Here we go. It's very simple. We just did a cut. Invite your invisible friends, Shay. Do what you gotta do. Just reach out, close your eyes, stretch your arms out wide, and say to yourself, dear invisible friends, please come and hang out with me right now. I want the full maximum experience of my reading with Tarot Lumination. Thank you very much. And then we just do it. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. Okay. What's the weather like for you, Shay? Okay. You might have noticed, but by the end of November, we're going to be in some extremely intense energy for everybody, by the way, as we build up closer and closer to January 2020. It's already happening now. King of Swords. Dear Shay, I don't know if you're involved in any kind of legal issues or legal battles right now, but I think this is much more like a message coming to you from the great beyond, from the planets, to maintain your truth, maintain your stature, maintain your integrity against all odds, okay? In other words, no compromises. You might be in a situation in your life, in your world, Shay, where it would be very, very, let's say, tempting to compromise yourself and lower your standards. In other words, going along to get along. And in so doing, in very subtle ways, you undermine yourself. You undermine your sovereignty of self. So to me, this feels like it's a very loud, kind of blunt, almost rude message coming at you, Shay C, that it is very important that you reconfigure yourself, get yourself back in order, and take full advantage of the planetary energies that are around you right now and turn them into your favor, so that if you have a natural life tendency to be very kind, generous, adaptive, diplomatic, it's time to stop. And it is time to maintain your truth, your integrity, your honesty, your opinions, your justice, your knowledge, your wisdom, your rules, okay? And stop setting that aside, okay? This is your time. In other words, I'm not trying to intimidate you or scare you. What I think the planets are saying is that this is your time, Shay. And it sounds like it's coming. In other words, you're not just going to get a free ride and you're just going to suddenly get center stage awards and a lifetime of free food and free gasoline. No, it's not that at all. This is much more about, it is your time now, Shay, to come into full integrity, full selfhood, full truth, full honesty towards yourself, number one, okay? Because that will change how the rest of the world perceives you, okay? Let's have a look. What's the situation? Okay, so with the Knight of Wands here, my feeling is that you already understand this up to a certain degree, but you've not really had, let's say, either the planetary alignments or the courage or the inspiration or a direct message to tell you to go forward. To me, it feels like you've been feeling it inside and you know exactly what we're talking about here, but you've been feeling, let's say, extremely reluctant to do it. But now, in the very exact moment of this reading, that you're realizing, wow, it is my time. It is my duty, it is my responsibility to literally charge forth and truly be me, Shay C, in a way that I've never been before. And let's almost like, it's, to me this almost feels like having an epiphany, like a massive awakening, like kerblam, like holy bleep. The situation is that I have to go for it. I have to be me. I have to live my passion, my drive, my mission, my purpose, my meaning on this planet. Not what everyone else thinks it should be, not whatever else I thought it should be because of conditioning, family, childhood, whatever it might be. No, it's about you in your deepest truth of self, which could be, let's say, highly contradictory to your surrounding environment, which might have, let's say, like a high degree of comfort that would make you very reluctant to go into selfhood and supremacy and self-respect and dignity. And you're realizing, like, my gosh, if I don't do that, if I don't take this life seriously, if I don't take my reasons for being here on this planet seriously, then all of this comes to nothing. You end up being more or less just like, just like it's just like it never happened. And we're here for a reason. You're here for a reason, Shay, for whatever that is, okay? Okay. Let's have a look. Let's have a look over here. What are the challenges with this? To me, this looks like it's a very spontaneous energy, and it's happening absolutely right now in the moment. Okay? And it might be a little bit catching you off guard. Like, this is not the kind of reading you would have expected. Okay? Or not the kind of tone or feeling of the reading you might have expected. Now, what are the challenges here? Because it looks to me, this is like, to me, it almost feels like it's embarrassing. It almost feels like Tarot Lumination has had to do the very, very difficult, awkward thing of outing you, okay? Tarot Lumination is outing you, like you've been hiding behind things like comfort, diplomacy, convention, and all those things, and in so doing, undermining the selfhood. And now, suddenly, it's almost like click. Oh my God, I know what you're talking about, TL. I see what you mean. I have to go for it. I know I have to go for it. And that puts you in a very awkward position. Okay. So with the Six of Wands here, my feeling is that you're absolutely terrified of failure. Okay? The fear of failure. I hope that makes sense for you, Shay. In other words, this would relate to the energy of someone who absolutely knows for a fact that they have a reason, a mission, and a purpose for being here on this planet, and you know deep down that you have been very, very subtly undermining yourself through the process of, let's say, diplomacy and going along to get along, and now you're at a point where this is no longer acceptable, it's no longer appropriate, and you're seeing this. To me, this almost looks like a shocking kind of reading, and like again, like the other reading with Trish, like this might not be a message you would have wanted to hear or expected to hear, but then you're here at Tarot Illumination, you get what you need to hear, and sometimes it's not pretty. So what my feeling here is the challenge is that it's the sheer terror of failure, and the fear of failure is so strong that your fear triggers a natural behavior to, let's say, remove yourself from the challenges that you face. And the ultimate challenge here is to be in your truth, in your integrity, and maintain your stature and integrity, and to live your life, your mission, and your purpose. But sometimes it's so hard to do that it's better just to not do it. And then you just mingle. You kind of like fit in, and you just kind of get along to go along. And then that's an extremely effective and very, very subtle form of self-destruction and self-undoing. And it's all fueled by the fear of failure. Wow, so what are we going to do about this? Okay, this is looks okay with the Ace of Pentacles here. This is a really blunt, in-your-face message. To me, it's very simple, Shay. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about this? And it's not just something that you think about or talk about or write about or discuss. It's actions. Actions. Physical, material, measurable actions, okay? Not thoughts, okay? Actions. Doing something that works. This is an incredible life-changing moment. The way I look at it, this Shay, is this like, this reading is the last reading you would have ever wanted or expected, but you're here and now you've got it. And so the reading instead of turning into something that's really kind of embarrassing, awkward, and you wish you'd never come here because you didn't want anybody to know anything about this side of your nature, instead, it's a fantastic opportunity. This is a card of sacred opportunity. It wouldn't be here unless you've earned it. So this is your chance. This is your opportunity to turn it around and turn your life into something where you just do one tiny little thing at a time, where you take action on the understanding you have to do something measurable in terms of living out your mission, your meaning, your purpose, your integrity, yourself, and for who you are, and really why you are here, doing what you do, being who you are. But it's going to be done in measurable steps. Okay, hold on. I just want to check in with you. Stay there. Okay, JC, again, you might not like this reading at all. But when it comes to the Ace of Pentacles, please see this as a sacred opportunity. In other words, like, oh my God, it's just like, I wish I'd never shown up. I wish I'd never come to this show. I wish I'd never come to this reading. But please, see it as a sacred opportunity, okay? It's your chance to, like, start making a list of, like, huge lists of, like, what are all the things that scare me about me? What are all the things that scare me about, going into my destiny, my future, my mission, my calling, my purpose? Write it all out. Number one, I'm scared of being laughed at. Number two, I'm scared that I might never get funded. Number three, I'm scared that it might go against the conventions of my family. Number four, I'm scared that people might not like me anymore, and on and on and on. Put all that on a piece of paper, okay? And look at that as a way to identify. In other words, you got to reveal it to heal it. Reveal the obstacles, okay? And that's how you move. And then once you discover that, you take off one item of each item in the list. You chop it off and see it as a sacred opportunity to face the fear. To face the fear of failure in that particular item that you just listed. And then instead of running away from that fear, you say to yourself, you look at that little line item on your list, and you turn to the heavens and your guardian angels and your invisible friends, and you ask them, please bring it on. Please bring to me that thing which terrifies me, which makes me terrified of failing, so that I can face this thing down and just face it down and move on to the next item on my list. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. I will take action I have to do measurable action where there are measurable results. One fear at a time. Okay? Got it? Gosh, I hope you don't feel like I'm lecturing. I hope I don't feel like I'm lecturing at you, but it's a really strong reading, Shay, and it's very blunt and it's very, very compressed in time, and it's right in your face. It's almost like Tarot Lumination is here going like this. Shay, wake up, wake up, wake up. This is a sacred opportunity. This is a sacred moment in time. Please understand the deeper meaning of this reading, okay? Thank you, Shay. That is your reading. Okay. We shake it up. That's what we do here. We shake it up. Okay. Here we go. I'm just going to shuffle things up a moment. Okay. Give me a second here. Up next is Topaz Zen. I hope you're still here, Topaz. Okay. I just read a note here from Getty Schnickson. It says, "Hey, Tarot Illumination, I enjoy your lectures. They're valuable. I've never thought of myself as a lecturer, and anything that I say is valuable." Okay. Thank you, Shay C. I'm glad you got something out of that. We might have touched a few nerves there, but I'm hoping it makes sense to you. Okay, love it again. Thank you very much, Shay. Love it again to you, too. Next up, we got Topaz Zen. You're the one who started it here tonight, okay? Topaz Zen, we're going to go for a general reading. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go big and wide, okay? Totally big and wide. Topaz Zen, you are up, okay? Topaz Zen. Okay, I can see all your witty jokes on the screen here, Ubasti. Catanist. Okay. Yeah, I can see it. I can see you. Let's have a look here. And by the way, if you have to go, you have to go. Don't worry about it, because it can all come back on the action replay. Don't worry. Give me a second here. I need another sip of this. Dear Topaz Zen, by the way, everybody needs to know that Topaz Zen has her own channel. She's a very competent reader in her own right. So there you go, if you want backup readings and all that kind of thing. All right, let's have a look here. Jeffrey, you're up next, by the way. Okay. Oh, behave. I'll behave. Wink, wink. Yeah, right. Let's have a look. Okay, there we are. Go me. Go Topaz Zen. It's time for Topaz Zen. So you know what to do, Topaz. It's just like what I tell everybody to do. If you could like huddle up, take advantage of this moment in time. I would, for example, I would take a few breaths like this. So you take ownership of the situation, and then you invite your invisible friends to join you. Okay? Make the most of this. We're going to bless the deck, bless every single card, bless you, Topaz Zen, bless the channel, bless the internet, the cameras, the lights, the cards, the viewers, everybody, the donations, the SuperChat system, all of it. It's fantastic. Okay? Here we go. Cards are well shuffled. I'm going to cut it all up. I'm going to make it a very extreme cut for you, Topaz, because I want a very clear spread. Here we go. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. And we're going to look at circumstantial energy, environmental influences for you too, Topaz. Call it the weather. We're in the second half of October now, and I don't know if any of you guys are aware of it, but I'm vividly aware of it over here. The first couple of weeks when we had the October new moon, and then we had the Aries full moon, it was very stressful for a lot of people. Okay, and now we're going through the integration phase as the moon moves on towards the Scorpio new moon in whatever it is, a week or so. Okay, so with this right here, my feeling is that we're kind of in the. To me, it feels like if you can imagine yourself, Topaz Zen. Have you ever done this, Topaz Zen, when you're on a vacation or traveling or something and you get a chance to swim in the ocean or a lake or a pool or something in the middle of the night? That's what I'm sensing here, is the energy around you right now, and we need to tap into that, okay? So we have the Four of Pentacles here. My feeling is that there is a part of you which is very, very concerned about maintaining stability. Let's pretend I'm Topaz Zen. I want my stability. I deserve, hold on, I'm going to do this personally, okay? Pretend I'm Topaz Zen. I want my stability. I want my business to work. I want my life to work. I want to build my own castle, my own business. And you're being encouraged to do that, okay? It might be a little bit more challenging than you expect, but it's almost like, what's that expression? Rome wasn't built in a day. I think your planets, your guides, your invisible friends want you to know that you're kind of on path in your own way, but you're going to have to be very patient, because it feels to me like you're taking all of it on yourself, as though it's just you and then there's the rest of the world. Whereas human beings are very sociable creatures. Yes, you are still a very unique being, but you have friends and family and connections. You've got people here at Terra Lumination, and it's perfectly okay to reach out and understand that you can't do this stuff on your own. Okay, whatever that is, whatever that means to you. Okay, I'm going to go back now. So with the Four of Pentacles here, my feeling is that, going back to that analogy with swimming in the lake or an ocean or a pond or a pool in the middle of the night, where it feels very safe and it's very beautiful, and it's your way of connecting with heaven and your angels and just sensing your life in a very weird, strange, new way. It feels to me that you need to be aware of this energy. You need to be aware that part of you is very, very driven to create security and stability and power and foundations and wealth and business and all of that. But there's more to life. There is more to life. Okay, now let's have a look at the situation itself. Okay, so with the Six of Wands here, my feeling is that you are very driven to succeed, that you really want to succeed, that you feel that you deserve to succeed, and that you have the credentials and the right to succeed. And there's no reason why you shouldn't, okay? And that there's some degree of recognition already. But once you kind of get a glimpse of this, once you get a taste of this, it becomes it's like it becomes very addictive, very, very compelling. Like, once you've had a taste of what it's like to be Topaz Zen, like when you are fully optimized and you've started to build a life and a world and a structure for yourself that is supported and encouraged by, let's say, the universe, and you get your first taste, your first glimpse, it feels absolutely amazing. And then you want to keep going and want to keep going, as though you can win all day, every day. Every single day is just like, it's just like winning the lottery every day. And that's part of your nature. To me, it feels like there's like, part of you is like this divine optimist, and also part of you is that feels like, well, why shouldn't it be this way? And then there's this energy of limitation here. It's on the understanding of like, well, hold on, slow down, Topaz Zen. It takes a lot of time and work and investment to create a life and a success and a business and a world that is stable and secure. What are the challenges here? Okay. To me, it feels like there's a lot of deeply, deeply hidden pain and suffering that you have, let's say, not being prepared to admit or bring into the light for healing. Okay? You already know this. My feeling is that deep down you know exactly what we're talking about here, and this is not exactly news for you. This is just like, oh God, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I wish Tarot Illumination hadn't said that. And yet, here we are. So my feeling is that with the Ten of Swords, the challenges and the limiting factors are that you've got all this going for you. You've got this going for you. You've got all the bountiful side of Topaz Zen, all your natural gifts, talents, resources, abilities, capabilities, plans, and so on, and a natural desire to succeed and win going forward. But the deep challenge is that, have you ever heard of this? I think, what do they call it? The Peter Principle or something? Like, you can't go beyond the levels of your limitations. In other words, my feeling is that you're in a situation where it kind of doesn't matter what you do, how you do it, no matter how strong your plans, your investors, your friends, your foundations, your structures, your home, no matter how confident and desirous and deserving of success you might feel about yourself, and no matter how much work you put into it, you end up in a kind of a feedback loop where you keep getting stuck, and you get stuck. It's like, damn it, damn it, damn it. And I think the feeling of the reason of reaching kind of like a level of a plateau where you put in the work and then it kind of stalls out, and then you put in the work and then it stalls out, like, oh God, it's kind of like I keep having to meet the same damn thing over and over again. What I think is that the challenge is that there are a lot of very tiny but very serious problems that have been buried and neglected and ignored for a long time that have been in the past. I think this is very much to do with the past, and they've been very debilitating, very crippling, very painful, things that you don't want to deal with, things that you would just rather just bury and pretend they never happened. And then all I want to do, to me it looks like I am Topaz Zen. All I want to do is succeed. I want to build and structure for the future and have a good life and do things properly. And then the stumbling block comes in. It's just like, damn it, how am I supposed to get around this? Well, there is a way, and of course with Tarot Illumination at this channel, it's like you got to reveal it to heal it. And so it's almost like, damn it, Tarot Illumination, damn it. And you end up in a situation like, it's understanding that this is no longer acceptable. You can't keep going in a negative feedback loop where you're constantly having a chance to succeed and win and prevail, and then as soon as you get to the moment of victory, something like turns like crappy. It's just like, damn it. And so you have to keep going back. So let's take advantage of this, Topaz Zen. Very shortly, we have Mercury retrograde coming up in Scorpio. So this might be a really good time, through November, for example, to go deep inside and identify very clearly all the pain and the suffering of problems that you would rather not acknowledge, and then you put them directly in your face on a piece of paper. Like, oh my God, I was bullied at school. Oh my God, my parents did that and that to me. Oh my God, my best friend did that to me. Oh my God, I failed this and that was my fault. Or whatever it is, every sort of pain, self-inflicted or inflicted by another, turn it into a list so that you can reveal it to heal it. There's a lot of pain here that is being neglected and ignored as though it doesn't exist, but it is actually an impediment to your evolution. Okay, that's how do we deal with it? Okay, to me it feels like we have to look at this in a very karmic kind of way. In other words, like from a deep sense of understanding, like with the Three of Wands here, like in other words, if you keep going on a path where you insist everything has to be okay and that everything's going to be okay because you do have the talents, gifts, and resources, and you are a natural born winner, and that's fine, and you try to keep going as though this part of your life didn't exist, then you will meet the consequences, a negative feedback loop. And that's what will happen to you. So you have to understand that. The way to handle it is to understand that you are the master of your own universe, and you are creating your own negative feedback loop, whether you like it or know it or not. And so how do we deal with that? You basically realize, oh my gosh, damn it, damn it, damn it. I am the owner of my life. I am the CEO of Topaz Zen. I'm the writer, producer, and director of my own movie. And then when you look at it that way and you realize there's an awful lot of these tiny, very, very subtle, but very, very debilitating issues that need to be dealt with. And then when you deal with them, then you get the outcome that you deserve. You start getting the results and the success that you deserve. In other words, each time you pick off one of these and you deal with it, you get what you deserve, okay, which is another step forward to your own victory, okay, which is the same thing as increasing your strength, your foundations, your stability, your future, okay. So this looks like a long-term reading, very, very different from the reading before, which was very short-term spontaneous. This is like a very, like sort of a very deep down and kind of into your guts type of reading. So in other words, there's a lot of things that need to be understood here. And then once you understand that, then you start doing like, aha, now I get it. Now I understand. It's all perfectly karmic. In other words, if I choose to ignore all these things and limitations, then I will always reach a level of limitations where you cannot go beyond. Because of this, because you have not revealed it to heal it. But when you do reveal it to heal it, it gives you the chance of healing, and then you get the good outcome that you deserve, okay? There you go. Thank you, Topaz. I hope that helps you. Let me just see. I've got to put this away now. Thank you, Topaz. Jeepers. That was a pretty heavy-duty reading. Hello, Tina. I just saw you there. Yay. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. Hold on, I'm just going to check in for Tina. Hello, Tina. Yep. Greetings. We've been here for a while. We've got a few more readings to do. I think we've got Jeffrey and then the group reading, and that's it. It's going to be probably a very short show tonight. There we go. Thank you, Topaz Zen. I hope that helped you. Thank you, Topaz. Jeepers. Okay. Thank you, Path Traveler. I saw that. It all helps. All the likes, the comments, it all helps. Thank you for all the kind donations tonight through the Super Chat. It's really, really a huge, important part of the channel. Thank you very much. All right, let's have a look. So Topaz Zen, I hope that helped you. You can always watch it again if you have to in the action replay, but I think the message is pretty clear. Jeffrey, we're going to focus on you now. We've got some issues about career, so that's kind of a big energy. That's very much to do with the Capricorn stuff. And as you know, we're building up to a huge, huge Capricorn event over the next few months, okay? Okay? Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look here. What have we got? After Jeffrey, I've got to take a little tiny break, and then we're going to do the group reading. Very simple. Okay, we have a nice, super clean, super clear deck for you. Give me a second here. I need to go on to another variation on my favorite beverages. And I do these in very modest doses, as you know. Give me a second here. I'm getting prepped up to read for Jeffrey. Super duper. Okay, I got some fermented grape juice. This is for you, Jeffrey. Cheers, Jeffrey. All right, let's have a look. So we got a super clear deck. And we're going to have a glimpse into the world of Jeffrey Longari and the career aspects, okay? The thing is, Jeffrey, I've noticed since the time that we've been working together, you're one of these people who has a high degree of competence. And so sometimes what happens with that, especially if you're already kind of gifted in certain aspects of life and the world and business, that means it's almost like the better you are, the more pressure comes at you in that department. And then what do you do with that? Okay, like, oh, yeah. In other words, you start getting onto these very esoteric subjects like the meaning and mission and purpose. Okay, in other words, like, so everybody needs to know that Jeffrey is very smart and he's good with business and finance and all that kind of stuff. Okay, the thing is that for people who are, let's say, gifted, there can be really some serious challenges because it's almost like it's maybe not necessarily about self-aggrandizement. There might be something more like a mission and a purpose for that. In other words, you have these talents, you have these gifts and resources, so what do we do with that in such a way that it is optimized? In other words, you're providing yourself to the planet in the most optimized version that you possibly can, and then you get recognized and rewarded in the best way that you possibly can. That would be something that you could call, in a three-dimensional world, a career. Like especially a rewarding career where you are understood, valued, and compensated accordingly. And a career has a long-term implication that it's very closely tied up with your sense of mission and meaning and purpose on this planet, okay? It's not just about making a buck, okay? Like some people might be very gifted as a day trader with the, stock market and stuff, and they know how to make a ton of money, but they're completely hollow inside and they don't know what to do with it. And who knows? But Jeffrey, I think inside of you there's a part of you which knows that you really want a sense of meaning and purpose and mission above and beyond just making a buck, okay? So that's how I'm sensing it here, right? Let's go for it, people. Cheers. This is for you, Jeffrey, okay? You know what to do, Jeffrey. I'm not going to repeat it all. Everybody here knows what to do, so I'm just going to ask you to settle in. Dear invisible friends on all sides, for Tarot Lumination and for Jeffrey, what are the messages that we have here for Jeffrey tonight regarding career? Career in the broad sense, which includes the concepts of mission and meaning and purpose, okay? Okay? Here we go. Let's have a look. I'm just going to cut it all up. I'm going to make this very extreme because I want something very pristine. I want something very pure here. Okay, here we go. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. Actually, I'm going to tighten this up a little bit. Okay. Look at the weather. Okay. What we have here is the Hierophant. Okay. Right away, my feeling, Jeffrey, is that there's a part of it, like there's a message here in some way that it might be that this feels like it's kind of uncomfortable in such a way that it's like it's a very serious message in some way, Jeffrey, that you're going to have to like create a business plan in some way and draft some kind of document, some kind of, you know how they do that in business? They create like things like a mission statement, a business plan, and a plan of execution, and all the documentation for the implementation of a business, like creating an LLC, a corporation, and doing everything properly. My feeling here is that at some point, maybe it's not right now, Jeffrey, but I think in the long term, it's something to do with creating your own business, creating some kind of structure, some kind of entity, a corporation, where you are the boss, where you set everything up, and you are literally like the, what do they call that? The person who starts it all, the founder. Okay? To me, this looks like it's a very strong message that however you do it and when you do it, what it's really all about is you taking full charge of all your talents and gifts and resources and creating a business structure where you are the founder, taking full advantage of the time of the planets right now, your talents, your gifts, your resources, your energy, your drive, your long-term sense of future, and getting very, very serious about it. In other words, you don't want to spend a lot of time hanging around thinking like, how am I going to get employed to make a buck? How am I going to, who am I going to look to hire me so I can make as much money as possible in terms of a career? Because I think that will be very frustrating and a little bit, let's just say, I'm not trying to inflate your ego, Jeffrey, but it's a little bit below you. My feeling is that you're probably going to end up as one of these people where you're going to have to create a structure, a business enterprise, whatever it might be, where you're the founder. Okay? Over here, what is the situation with all of this? Okay, this is a card of sacred opportunity, Jeffrey. I don't want to go into too much of the personal details, but there is a humongous astrological event that we're building up to. It's been building up for a long time, and the pivotal crisis moment is January 2020. Okay, with the Ace of Pentacles, I'm hoping you see that this here is a moment of sacred opportunity for you. The Capricorn energy is very, very much about infrastructure, business, organizations, structures, institutions, managing things, just the way that corporations work, political structures work, worldly structures work in such a way that's good for humanity. Okay? So with the Ace of Pentacles here, my feeling is the situation is that part of you knows this already, Jeffrey, and you might not have had a lot of conversations about this with yourself or with anybody in particular, but it looks to me like we're heading into a time right now where you have to look at yourself and your life this way as a gateway, as a starting point for a brand new life where you put yourself front and center as the founder of something, okay? Whatever it might be, start where you are. You know, like what they say in some of those self-help books, start where you are. This is the time, this is the moment. It's coming up. It's happening right now. I'm not just talking about today, I'm talking over the next few months, because I think with this pentacle here, this is very much to do with the big Capricorn energy. The Capricorn energy of mission, purpose, destiny, business, managing things, doing what needs to be done to get done what has to be done, okay, in a worldly sense. So it's a really good idea to look at your life and look at your world and consolidate all your gifts and talents and resources and figure out, who am I really? What am I doing here? What am I going to do with my natural gifts and talents? Okay? Because these are very valuable in some way, shape, or form or other, and only you know exactly what they are. So the only way to do that is to become a founder. Okay? And you're being encouraged to do that. What are the challenges here? Okay. So with the Eight of Pentacles here, my feeling is that some of the challenges, like where do I direct all my time and energy and all my resources? Because it looks like you're very, very dedicated. You know you have the talents and gifts and resources. You know your ability to work and create value. Okay, you know your you know your self-worth. Okay, you know you have all of that, and you know you're willing to put in the time and the energy to do what has to be done, to get done what has to be done. Okay, but there's a deep fear around this. Okay, like almost like part of you knows this, but the other part of it is like, is this real? Is this really, really true? Am I really seriously going to have to go that deep into it? Why can't I just go onto one of those job sites like Indeed or something and just get a job and get somebody just pays me a lot of money? It's so much simpler. And then you end up in this situation where you might have to invest a lot of time and energy and resources. Well, maybe not money itself, but in terms of, it's the fear of doing what has to be done over the long term to get done what has to be done. In other words, you might not have an exact business model, a business plan lined up already, but you know you're going to have to do it. At some point, you know that you're going to have to do this in such a way that works, whatever it is, okay, in terms of business, okay? You're very career-driven, very business-oriented, because we've talked before, and so, to me, this almost like is the deep fear of putting your time and energy and resources into something that doesn't work. That would be a disaster for you. Okay? So it's very important to discover through self-examination and what does work. So how are we going to deal with that? Okay, with the Page of Wands here, we're going to have to basically establish, dear Jeffrey, there is a certain degree of innocence going on here where it's perfectly okay to admit that you don't really know exactly what this is yet. Okay? I saw something on the screen. Give me what it is. Hold on. Go, Jeffrey. Taylor Swift is encouraging you. Oh, I'm looking at the screen. I'm looking at the chat. Give me a moment here. Okay. No, okay, I see, Jeffrey, it's not about the money. No, that's not the issue. It's about the meaning and the purpose of who you are, what you're going to do, and however you do that. So with the Page of Wands here, my feeling is that it's okay to admit that you would kind of be like in a startup, you know. You might not have an idea, but on the other hand, this Page of Wands is giving you a strong encouragement to take some bold steps anyway, even though you don't actually know the long-term implications. In other words, with young entrepreneurs, young business people, or business entrepreneurs in general, sometimes they make mistakes in order to get to the who they really, really are. My feeling here is it's a strong message like, please, Jeffrey, be willing to make a couple of mistakes now and again, but do not allow your fear of, let's say, putting your time and energy into the wrong place in the wrong direction stop you from making enthusiastic, bold moves to at least get going. In other words, let's just say you've got an idea. You know you have the talents and gifts and resources, but you've never really seen yourself before as a founder of a business. And so you don't necessarily have all the tools, the kits, all the everything ready to go. And so you have to take risks. You have to take bold risks and just do something. So with the Page of Wands here, my feeling is that the way to handle your situation is just basically look in the mirror and say, you know what, her Illumination, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's not like this is anything new to me. It's just like, it's just scary. It's just really, really scary taking a bold risk, okay? Putting in the time and the energy, knowing that there's a potential for failure. But it looks to me that, like with a lot of people, you know, when you read all those success stories about people, they make a lot of mistakes, okay? So my feeling here is, please be very kind to yourself. Give yourself permission to make mistakes, make a lot of mistakes, but go for it anyway. You just jump in, you kind of do it, you rely on natural enthusiasm, and every time a new step occurs, you see it as a sacred opportunity. In other words, like those self-help gurus, they're going to tell you every failure leads to a new opportunity or something like that, okay? So that's what I'm seeing here. So it means taking very bold, youthful, enthusiastic, courageous risks going forward into the unknown, where you place yourself at the very epicenter. You are the founder, whatever it is that it might be. You know, there's lots of people who do these kinds of things, like in, you know, Berkeley or San Francisco, they'll have like millions of different startup facilities that are out there, incubators, you know, GoFundMe fundraiser platforms, somebody, whatever it is that it might be. To me, you just have to go for it. Just practice. Be willing to fail. Be willing to, like, you know, put everything that you have into something just for a moment. Anything that you put, as much as that you're willing to risk, okay? You don't have to necessarily put all your eggs into one basket, but just make a go of it. Practice becoming the leader, the founder, the director, the CEO, the president of what it is that you want to do. And start moving away from the idea of being an employee or making money doing something for somebody else. Okay? All right, Jeffrey, I hope that helped you. Thank you very, very much. Let's leave it at that. It could be anything, okay? Whatever it is, but you have to tune in. It has to turn you on. You have to feel like vibrant about it. With that Page of Wands, you have to feel that youthful vibrancy despite the fear of failure, okay? All right. Let's leave it at that. Thank you, Jeffrey. Okay, I'm going to put all these over to the side. Wow, we finished all that. We're going to go to the group reading, people. Wow. Thank you. Sponsored by Jeffrey, Nikki, and Primary. Thank you very much. Hold on, I just saw some dazzling... Ooh, hold on, Sweet Pea. I just saw you coming on the screen. Give me a second here. Hold on, everybody. Give me a second, everybody. I'm looking at the chat. Sweet Pea 101, 999. Is it okay if I post my question in the comments? It's a little longer than the super chat limit. It's okay. Type something in the screen, dear Sweet Pea. I see your money here already on the super chat. So you're going to get a reading, okay? No question about it. That's not the problem here. But if you've never been here before and you want to do this, I'm going to put this over here, okay? So we'll put you over here. And what I'd like to do is delay the group reading for a minute until I've sorted out what's kind of going on here with Sweet Pea. Give me a second. Bear with me, people. I'm just going to leave everything as it is for a moment. I just saw it, Path. Just got it. So she's typing right now. Okay, so let's have a look. It says, okay, I'm going to read from the chat, everybody. It says here, this is from Sweet Pea. While I was dating Virgo X, He told me he loved me, okay? He made it seem like he was all in. But he posted on social media, wasn't mentally in that relationship. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. Why did he post this but always pretend to be in love when he would talk to me? Okay, that looks like a really, what I would call duplicity. In other words, actions are not matching their words. Okay? If he's saying one thing over here but doing one other thing over there with you, that's duplicity. That's ambiguity. It's almost like you're stuck in a game where you have, like, it's almost like you've accidentally fallen into. Hold on, before I even get to your reading, okay, dear sweet pea, dear sweet pea, what you're going to discover here, just like Nikki said here, okay, can you see that thing from Nikki? You see that thing from Nikki? Can you see it on the screen there? You're probably going to see a bunch of feedback from some of the other visitors here tonight who are going to discover exactly what's going on. And there's a lot of red lights, a lot of warning lights for you, dear sweet pea. Okay? So, dear sweet pea, there might be a high degree of innocence with you. In other words, like, why? In other words, there you are. You're just being sweet pea. There you are, just living your life, okay? And then there's this character out there, and he says this over here and does this over here with you, but he posts this and that over here with other people. I'm sorry, but that's really, really effed up, okay? You're dealing with someone who is, it's kind of almost like they're exploiting you as a learning experience for themselves, but they don't even know that that's what they're doing. And in fact, what they're actually doing is trying to find a way that they do not have to honor their gestures and their behavior towards you, and confiding that to somebody else. So it's almost like it gets them off the hook. So it's almost like they're looking for a way not to have to evolve in themselves. They're playing a game thinking that they can win all the time by playing these different moves so that they can just do whatever they want to do and not evolve and grow and adapt and blossom, and you get had and played, and the other people, you get had and played over here, and the other people are being drawn into it like this bizarre kind of like, almost like one of those Judge Judy type of shows, or one of those live daytime shows where people just go at each other and they just shred each other out of vindictiveness and vengeance and bitterness and unresolved doo-doo. And that's just all a pile of drama. And to me, it feels like you've just got sucked into it. You got sucked into it because you're innocent. And now you're it's a classic scenario. Like, what do we do now? Let's have a look. I'm going to go back to you over here, okay? Dear sweet pea. Okay? Hold on. I'm going to put all of these over aside here for a moment, because we're going to go deal with sweet pea before we do the group reading, okay? So I'm going to put this over here. Dear sweet pea. Okay, I thought, look, sorry, I'm going to make that look better. That's a E. Dear sweet pea. You've probably seen a billion things all over YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all the social media about how social media is turning into a seriously effed up environment where a lot of people are experiencing huge amounts of anxiety. And it's because a lot of people are using social media as a way to avoid having genuine, authentic, loving relationships. In other words, it looks so you're relating to someone, but you're just playing like a video game, and you become a character in a video game, and you are not being treated as a person. You're being treated as an object, okay? Dear Sweet Pea, it's not fun to be treated as an object, but please understand your participation in the situation is what is allowing you to be treated as an object. And so I'm not trying to judge you or punish you. All I'm suggesting is that you might be an unwitting victim simply of the environment, of the way millions and billions of people are relating to each other right now in a way that is frankly very unhealthy. Okay? So you might be a classic story of how things can go really wrong very, very quickly. Okay? I'm going to read for you now. Okay? Okay, look, watch. Can you see the screen there? Watch the screen, okay? Do you see those notes there from Ubasti? Dear Sweet Pea, I just want to let you know, Ubasti's purr is a psychic medium for pets and animals, okay? So if you have a pet and an animal and you want to communicate in between that might be something to consider, okay? Fritterly is also a very capable reader. Nikki is also, keep going through this chat. Dear Sweet Pea, please understand, Nikki is a psychic medium, okay? So you're in a very, very good place, Sweet Pea. You just happened to land up here by accident. You're in a really, really good, safe place. There is a huge amount of girl power here, woman power here, where we will find a way to get you into a safe place where you don't have to be like a piece of roadkill because of someone else's like crappy behavior, okay? I'm not kidding, Sweet Pea. I'm not kidding, all right? Here we go. What's the situation about this a-hole who is messing around with you, okay? And treating you as an object and playing ridiculous, super pathetic, infantile, trivial games with you, okay? In a way that you don't need. I don't think you would be here, Sweet Pea. I don't think you would have put $10 into the super chat unless you have a certain part of your identity and self which deep down you realize you are above it all. You are above this game. You are above this infantile behavior. You are above being treated like an object. You know it, okay? And so this reading is like, it's like you are reaching out to get back to your selfhood, your self-respect, your dignity, and so that you are not suffering. You're not a victim of someone else's infantile behavior. Okay? Got it? All right, let's bless this reading. Bless you, Sweet Pea. Thank you for being here. Let's see what we can do for you. Okay, my feeling here is this reading is really going to be all about getting you into your power. It's almost like forget that person. Forget that person. I wouldn't even consider, if they want to treat you as an object, it's perfectly appropriate for you. In other words, you want to treat me like an object? Watch what happens when I treat you like an object. And when you treat them like an object, you can just totally elect to ignore them. In other words, they become irrelevant to you. It's just like looking at a fire hydrant in the street, or a shopping cart that is blocking the sidewalk, or a pedestrian who's crossing the crosswalk when they shouldn't be doing it. There's no point in taking it personally, okay, Sweet Pea? These people who do what they do what they do. If you take it personally, you're screwed. If you can rise above it and see and forgive them and bless them, treat this as an opportunity to learn about the self, then you can flip it all around. If you have to, I mean, it's going to sound really like almost obscene, but you might want to consider treating them like an object. Okay? Objectify this person and look at it from an extremely scientific viewpoint and stop taking it personally and treat it as a learning experience. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's what we're going to do about it. And here's the weather surrounding you. Okay. Queen of Wands. Okay. This is a really blunt, in-your-face message from your invisible friends, dear Sweet Pea. Do not compromise yourself. Do not allow anyone to undermine you in the way that you just became undermined. You have a right to be you. You have a right to shine your light, to be inspirational and proud and majestic and the perfect Sweet Pea that you are, regardless of the way that you were treated by this other object. Okay? This object has no power over you. Okay? It's time for you to understand that it's okay for you to be the boss of your own life, to be your own inspiration and love and light for others. In other words, there are probably millions of women in your situation, Sweet Pea, and maybe it's about time that you represented these women and you decided, you know what, I'm sick of this BS. I don't need this BS. It's totally inappropriate. It's time for me, Sweet Pea, to get back into my girl power. Thank you very much. And I don't mean to hurt anybody by that. It is just that it is my time and it is my obligation and it is my responsibility to do that. And I'm sorry, anybody, if you can't handle that. Thank you very much. I am Sweet Pea. Thank you. What's the situation itself? Okay. So with the Nine of Pentacles here, my feeling is that you're already on a drive. You already understand what we're talking about here, but you just needed to hear it from someone else in an environment that is nothing to do with you, especially if you've never been here to this channel or hung out with these people before. There are some amazing women here. There's a lot of really super powerful, very loving, capable women, and some pretty cool guys too. So, and we all understand the healing power of love. So with the Nine of Pentacles here, to me, this is an indication that this is kind of already how you are. Like a woman of independence, a woman who desires independence, a person who understands their own self-worth, and a person who wants to continue in that world without having to be subject or victimized by the sort of despicable, low-frequency objects of interference that are out there for you. It's just that this is what happened. You had this experience with that person who behaved in very, let's say, very immature behavior, and you got caught. You got suckered, okay? You might have felt threatened in your integrity, in your strength, in your self-worth. So to me, this is almost like the energy of like an animal. You know, when an animal gets frightened in nature, and like it's almost like they're facing a near-death situation, but it was just like a truck driving by or something. Have you ever seen that in animals? Ubasti would understand, okay? Animals see the world and the life in a different way to us, and they might react to something in a way that they feel is very terrifying, but we as humans think like, well, what was that? But my feeling here with you, Sweet Pea, is it's as though you are a very high integrity person. You are already that way, but something happened outside of you, almost like a car crash, a train wreck, or something, as represented by this other person. Not even a person, I'm just going to call them an object, okay? And they like totally disrupted you to the point it was like being an animal in shock, where you would be like, oh, and then you would have to shake yourself, like, you know how animals do? They shake themselves back into their integrity. They do these shaking movements like, or they run around the yard in circles, and they run around that way in circles, and they scream and bark and yell until they've completely dissipated the shock and the fear, and then they come back to their independence and their selfhood and their integrity. And that's what you are by nature, and that's what you deserve to be. It just feels to me like you were heavily disrupted. Okay? But you are not defeated, okay? You are above all of this, okay, sweet pea? You just have to understand it. You have been challenged. You've been challenged in such a way that you've never been challenged before. What are the challenges? Okay, to me with the magician here, to me it feels like, it's almost like shocking for you that you got caught out. You, sweet pea, you got caught out by what amounts to maybe a narcissist, someone who is a very, very high-level expert at playing people, playing games, manipulating and exploiting everything for their own personal benefit. And then you end up in a position where you have an extreme sense of self-doubt, like, what am I supposed to do now? Literally like an animal who's been shocked and put into a place of fear in a way that's really not deserving. But on the other hand, it's like, you know what happens, again, like Basti is here and there's other pet owners here. Like when you raise a little cat or a little dog from a puppy or a kitten, and you start to let them grow and go out into the wild and go into the streets and nature, they are going to encounter things that are absolutely terrifying. And like a truck going by, or like a thunderstorm, or some lightning, or somebody who accidentally kicks them, or whatever it is. And to me it feels here like this is shocking. Like, who or what or why would want to mess with me or try to undermine my power? Okay? Well, my feeling is that, dear sweet pea, is that you are recognized, this object, that person, the narcissist out there, recognized you as someone who is very formidable and who has very, let's say, high levels of integrity, of independence and everything. And it's like they met their match and they decided, I cannot meet this match. I cannot stand or tolerate anyone being above me or superior to me. I am the God center of the universe, and so I have to find a way to diminish this other person. And I'm going to objectify this other person, okay? And so that's what's happened here. And I think you ended up basically meeting integrating with a person who doesn't really think of you as a human being or in terms of loving or being loved. They just think of you as an object in order to enhance or prove their own amazing awesomeness to themselves. And all they are concerned about is proving that to themselves. This is an energy of extreme vanity. In other words, this other person, the object out there, it's extreme vanity. And they need to play the game in order to make themselves look awesome in the mirror, like someone who has to keep fluffing themselves to reassure how awesome they are at the expense of someone else, okay? So how do you handle it? This is very graceful energy here. With the Six of Pentacles, my feeling, it's almost like it would be very appropriate for you to simply, very delicately, very gently step away. And it might be hard to do, because if you're sucked up in this like social media drama thing, and you feel that your whole sense of identity and integrity and honor and dignity are threatened because of the behavior of this object, this person, this super vain narcissist who's out there, it would be so easy to retaliate or take it personally. My feeling here is to see it in a very karmic way, that they will get what they deserve in time. And you will get what you deserve right now. What you deserve right now is coming back to the center, coming back to understanding that you will benefit from this. You will learn something from this experience, where every time you immerse yourself in a situation where you could be exposed to really creepy people, you could easily become a victim. So to me it looks like it's really important now for you to be very kind to yourself, pat yourself on the back and realize, wow, I just learned something incredibly valuable. Very, very valuable, very, very important. And I learned it from this a-hole. I learned it, and it's a gift. The way that I was treated, the way that I was objectified, is actually a beautiful lesson for me, and it brings me back into harmony and balance with myself, and they in turn will get their own dues in their own time. In the meantime, it's time for you to award yourself a pat on the back, a treat, some kind of balancing, coming back to center and realizing, wait a minute, it's okay. Everything's fine. Everything is as it should be. This was a learning experience. I am not a victim. I was objectified. I am now going to observe that other party as a victim and bless them. I totally bless them in their life lesson, because they're going to have some very painful, rude awakenings one day down the road. But that's not your problem, Sweet Pea. That's their problem. Okay? So you don't have to worry about that. All you have to do is take care of yourself. Be very, very kind to yourself. Pretend that you are the one who can afford to take care of you, and then you just do that. You bring harmony and balance back to yourself. You come back to yourself in a very grounded, calm, simple, safe manner, realizing that this was just a huge drama as a learning experience. You are not defeated. You are not who they treat you as, okay? Thank you, Sweet Pea. Thank you very, very much for hanging out with us. Hey, hello, Mona. What's going on? Thanks for hanging out. Hello, Primary. Rejection is protection. I like that one. I have to think about that one a minute. You can learn so much through rejection, okay? Have you ever heard of that expression, like in the situation of relationships, dear Sweet Pea? Hold on. Okay? The dumper or the dumpee? Does it really matter? Some people take it very, very seriously. If you feel like you are the dumpee and you're being dumped by the dumper, it can feel very, very painful. But that might be just their way of inflating their ego to make themselves feel okay, and they just need someone to poop on, okay? That's how they do it. That's how some people grow their sense of self-worth. They do it by dumping on other people. It's really sad, it's really pathetic, and it's way below you, okay? But if you're not aware of that kind of behavior, then you could easily take it personally. All I'm suggesting is, like, you're above that. If that's how they want to behave, if that's how they want to conduct themselves in the world of social media, you don't have to do anything with that. You can just literally delete, delete, delete. Okay? Without any shame or guilt or remorse. Bye-bye. Thank you. Okay, look at the notes from Nikki, okay? Dear Sweet Pea, look at those notes from Nikki, all right? I saw your note there, Gregory. I'd rather be the dumper for sure. All right, Sweet Pea, thank you very much. Everybody, we're going to go into the group reading now. Yay. This is it, folks. Super Chat mini readings are more or less over. And we're going to go to the group reading. I think we tried to do this earlier. This is it. Thank you, Primary. Thank you, Jeffrey. And thank you, Nikki. I'm going to put you guys all in here inside the group reading sticker. Okay? Hey, Sweet Pea, thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's a pleasure to have you here. Cheers. Cheers and welcome. Come again. Okay, this is kind of where we have to get serious. I think I should have a little kind of a dance break here. I'm going to put on I Am Guided, I Am Protected. This is a little Terra Lumination song, okay? It sounds like this. And I'm kind of like putting this up for Sweet Pea. Give me a second here. Here we go. Sounds like this.
I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected. When the light of hope it fades, when all faith is blown away, when all sense of trust goes down, when a smile turns into frown, when it feels there's no relief, nothing in which to believe, desperate in woe and grief, angels come reminding me, I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected. Angels gathered close to me, show me what I cannot see. Angels take me by the hand, lift me when I cannot stand. Angels lead me through the dark, soothe and tend a broken heart, laughing at the circumstance, crying while we sing and dance. I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected.
All right, so let's do this, people. I just want to check in with everybody. Just want to say hi because we're getting close to the end here. It looks like it's going to be a really short show. Sometimes we go on for 5 hours. It's crazy. But it looks like it's going to be short and sweet tonight, and that's fine by me, okay? In case you don't know, people, as far as I understand, trash pandas are raccoons. Thank you, Fritali. Thank you, Ubasti. I'm so glad you're hanging out with us again. It's super to have you back. We're going to do a group reading now. It was sponsored by Primary and Nikki, and we'll come back to that in a second. There's a Jeffrey. That's right, Jeffrey. Sorry. Okay, so we got that sorted out. So we're going to do that reading in just a moment. I just wanted to hang out with you, say I love doing this with you guys. Thank you for your kindness and your generosity. Every week is different. Every show is different. I don't plan any of it. Everything is, we just, the whole thing is improv the whole way, the whole time. Okay? Hi, Lena. I see you out there. Okay? I don't know what's going to happen next, people. I'm going to do this the group reading, and then we've got November coming up, and we've got December and January. These are, to me, historic periods in world history. I've been doing lots of studies, okay, behind the scenes, and it looks like we're going to be holding an event here. I don't know if it's going to be ticketed or just for members or free for everybody. I don't know how to do it exactly, but what I want to do is I want to have a real in-depth look at January 2020 and pretty much the whole of 2020, because it is a pivotal year in ways that we haven't seen for at least 250 years since 1776. So just keep an eye out. If you see something on the channel about that, check in and we'll see how it goes. Okay? We'll just see. A lot of it is to do with the huge Capricorn thing. I'm looking at all the November charts right now. There's a huge Capricorn stellium right at the end of November leading into December, which leads into January. So it's like the Sagittarius energy and then the Capricorn energy. But the Capricorn energy is already very strong and it's building up, okay? Hold on. Lena just said, hello, I just need a Fernet and a cigar. I will tell you a story, dear Lena. I was with a dear friend of mine the other night, and I noticed we were at a little bar. I know, it's crazy. Terra Lumination goes out to a bar maybe once a year. So we were there, and I saw Fernet Branca on the list of special liqueurs. And so I ordered one, and it came in a little tiny glass, you know, about this big, and it was very cold. And I thought, no, that's not right. And so I had a sip of it. And it was, you know, it tasted like a mixture of toothpaste and cough syrup and aniseed and licorice all mixed up. And it was disgusting, okay? And so I took one of the candles. We were sitting with some candles, and I put it and I held it on top of the candle very gently for about 45 minutes until it really, really warmed up. And it was a completely different drink. This is something that I could sip. And it was delicious, okay? I let 3 of my friends have a little taste, and they all said, it's disgusting. And then when it became warm enough, I didn't tell them anything else, and I had the whole thing for myself, because they would have discovered how delicious it is, and then they would have wanted some of my drink, and that's not going to happen, okay? Okay. Fernet is your soulmate. Okay, so on that note, I think that's a perfectly good excuse for us to go to the group reading. Here we are, people. As you can see, we're looking inside the brain of Terra Lumination. This is what it looks inside the brain of Terra Lumination. These are all the planetary influences. I don't know if you can see this. There is Aquarius, okay? There is Pisces. There is Aries. There is Taurus. There is Gemini. There is Cancer. There is Leo. There is Virgo. Where is Libra? Where is Libra? I can't find Libra. Doesn't mean you're not important, though. Don't worry. And then there's the Scorpio. There's the Sagittarius, and then there's the Capricorn, back to the Aquarius. Now I'm puzzled. Where's Libra? I know Libra is here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Look. Oh, it's just off the screen. I'm sorry. I can't fit the artwork onto the channel. But Libra is right here. I guarantee Libra is right here. Okay? There we go. Yeah. Let's have a look. Yes, Lena, I admit I am crazy. I like my Fernet Branca to be not only room temperature, but I like it to be warm. And the last thing I would ever do is mix it up with something like soda or Coca-Cola or ginger ale. No, 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 no. I'm sorry, that's just an aberration. That's just awful. I don't know how you can possibly do it. Okay, here we go, people. Here we go. We're going to do a group reading. As you know, Tarot Illumination gets a bit carried away when we do this. It's just like switching on a movie, and I'm doing my best to do like a narration as we go through the movie, okay? Hello, Primary. Wow. I hope the painting's going well. I told everybody earlier that we're going to have an evening with Primary feathers, okay? Here we go. Now, when we do this, I'm going to use a Tarot Illumination heart spread. It's on the understanding. Hold on, I got to do this. Give me a second. Okay, so I'm just going to do this little routine thing. I'm going to use the Tarot Illumination heart spread, okay? It kind of looks like this when we get back to the main stage. And it's the idea about how we connect this back to here. Because so many of us live our lives today, especially if we're in a world where we're doing everything on a computer or a laptop or a smartphone or internet or whatever thing, you know, for millions of people now, we're living from the neck upwards, and the rest of our lives feel like it's just like an appendage. You know, our bodies, our arms, our hands, our legs, our feet are just appendages to the head. Well, that's not really how we're built. We're actually built as a complete entity where everything is supposed to work together, and the core of it is here. This is the actual core, not here. So what I like to do on this channel is try to find ways to help us integrate and get this energy into alignment so that we're working from our heart center instead of from here. We still have to have all this, but I like to make it so that the head is the servant of the heart instead of the heart being the servant of the head. I hope that makes sense. So let's flip it back. We're trying to get it to the point where the head is the servant of the heart. You'll see that when we come to the reading, okay? All right. Let's have a look at this. What messages do we have here tonight for everybody in terms of a group read about how we can, let's say, take full advantage of who we are as a community, as a group, as a family, and help each other to be who we are, how we are, and the way we are. Oh, LES was dancing in the living room. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, if you hang around LES, we will do some more dancing a little bit later, but we're going to do this reading first. And if you've got any energy left, we'll provide some background music for you to do your fancy footwork. Okay, here we go. This is it, people. We're going for it. Bless this deck. Bless every single card. Bless all of you for being here tonight. Bless all of your kindness and generosity. I wish I could do more and better, but I'm already kind of doing the best that I can. So we'll just have to deal with that, okay? Here we go. The heart needs what it needs. It wants what it wants. And it's hoping that our brain is listening. Okay? It's that simple. Over here, this is what I think of as legacy energy, history, baggage. Let's say all of us, each of us doing the best we can to be who we are, how we are, where we are, when we are, and why we are. And then we are we're being held accountable. In other words, pretend we're all lining up here and there's a kind of a desk. And Tarot Illumination is saying, hey, everybody, let's just check in here. What's in your baggage? Let's put everybody put it on the table. What's in your backpack? What's in your pocket? What's in your wallet? What are all your stresses? What are all your glories? What are all your, whatever it is? It's like a legacy energy, and this is something that we share in communion. Okay, over here, this is the energy of now, the healing power of now. You could watch YouTube channels about all that stuff if you want to, but the power of now, it's all about being here and present, being grounded, present, conscious, and here, not dwelling on the past, not using the past as a template to project on the future. No, none of that. Not fantasizing about the future, simply being present in the now. allowing for your impressions about the future and allowing for your glories of the past and the pains of the past, but still ultimately staying present in the now. And that's sometimes very, very hard to do for a lot of people, because it's so much easier and more comfortable to default to the past or project into the future. So when we are in our power, in the now, our power is executed and expressed and activated through the healing power of our decisions, which is this energy over here. And the ultimate decision is to love thyself, which might sound very absurd to some people who don't know this channel. But that's how I feel things here, and that's what I offer on the channel. Because the ultimate decision to love thyself is what's best for you, which is what's best for your loved ones, which is best for your family, your home, your community, and the environment, and ultimately the world around you. So once you understand what it is you have to factor into your decisions, that's great, but how do we do that effectively? How do we make these decisions so that they actually work? And so when they actually work, we are co-creating with the universe. Yay! Okay? As opposed to being victims or being, let's say, living according to rigid, already pre-established protocols which might have absolutely nothing to do with your life. Like if you're born in an environment of extreme religious fundamentalism or very, very strict code of living where it's great for certain people, but it sucks for other people. Okay? You have a right to be you. For anybody who's watching this channel, if you have internet and you can hear and understand the English language and take advantage of this show, you have to understand we're very privileged to be able to do this at all. So I'm very privileged. I feel very privileged. Okay. Privileged to be here and offer this for you. And of course, I get the reciprocation for you guys. Thank you very much. And so, over here, this is the energy of like, what if? What if? What if you decide, you personally decide, that this is a whole load of BS, and it's much easier just to default to the status quo and live a life according to how other people tell me to do it? Then you're giving away all your sacred opportunity to live your own life and be truly who you are and be authentic. And you're basically throwing everything away. But what happens when you do take the courage to face the unknown, make these very bold, brave, very, very, let's say, what's the word? Meaningful decisions? What does that look like? So this is a card of gain, a card of loss, depending on the decisions that we make. And then, of course, we're setting ourselves up for the next beat of the heart. So I'm hoping you can see this as a heart, okay? Like a heart, and it pulses. It's a living thing. And when we make our decisions, all of this is happening kind of almost like a pulse, like a wave inside of us. But our decisions, we feel them a lot in our brain. But I'm hoping we can take them into the core of the heart center, okay? Here we go. Let's have a look. We're going to do the same thing as before. We're going to look at the circumstantial energy, environmental influences, and the planets, and I call it the weather. So we have the Fool. Okay, so this is a very, very big, broad, grand gesture of, let's just face it, people, a lot of us don't know what we're doing, where we're going, or how, or why. And so our only option is to go forward into the unknown with a sense of complete trust and a complete abandonment to the sacred nature of life. Literally, truly trusting in the concept that everything turns out perfectly. I'm learning this myself from one of my loved ones, okay? And a very particular loved one. I'm learning how things turn out perfectly. All the hideous things that happen, all the amazing things that happen, they're all happening for a reason. And it's part of a vast cinematic kind of Shakespearean play. And if you get sucked into the bits and pieces about the pain and suffering and you take it personally, then it would be very easy to get like vindictive or vengeful or bitter or angry or jealous or confused or resentful or whatever it is. But I feel with the full energy here, we're being urged to realize we're all on an amazing epic journey where anything and everything can happen. And that is a gift. It's like we're incredibly lucky to have what we have, do what we do, be who we are, the way that we are, why we are, how we are here and now. Okay? Okay. So let's have a look what the heart is saying over here. Okay. To me, this heart energy is almost like saying, you know what? It's almost like, please, 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 please bring it on. Please, please, please bring it on. I'm sick of waiting. I'm sick of waiting. I want the big adventure. I want to jump into the great unknown. I'm really looking forward to November, December, and January, and February, and the whole of 2020. I already know because I've been watching the TL channel for bits and pieces that yes, it's going to be a wild, crazy ride into a new paradigm that none of us on this planet have ever known before in generations. And so the heart is saying, seriously, people, this is an amazing time for us. We need to go forward regardless. We need to go forward in our courage, in our passion, in our sense of meaning, mission, and purpose, even though we don't know a lot about what that really means. The heart wants that. The heart wants the adventure. The heart wants the journey. The heart wants us to participate. The heart wants us to stop, in other words, stop thinking about it, stop fussing about it, stop trying to calculate what could or go wrong or what's going on or why. In other words, just go, trust in the flow, go with the flow, understand that none of us on earth ever have ever been in this situation before, but we're heading into it now. Welcome January 2020. What about our legacy energy over here? Okay, to me this feels like everyone here, each in our own individual way, has been doing everything we can in the best way that we possibly can, no matter how painful, no matter how much pain and war and suffering that we have endured. We're doing it in a way that has meaning and purpose and value. Okay? To me, this looks like the energy of what I would call sweat equity. You know? Like when people who do remodeling of houses, and instead of taking huge credit card loans, they just do everything by hand themselves, day by day, week by week, month by month, you know, doing the floorboards, doing the windows, doing the gutters, doing the roofing, doing the painting, doing the decorating, doing the landscaping. You do it one step at a time with long-term patience and endurance. And each one of us here, I think, is coming into this environment, this reading, this show tonight, having done this already, like each in your own unique ways. Like the pathway for Path Traveler is very different from Laura Ellen Smith, or it's different from Getty, it's different from Lena, okay? It's different for all of you. It's different for Nikki, it's different from Iwona, it's different from Ubasti, it's different from Fritali. But the common denominator is the good intention, and doing it in a way that is very singular to you as the individual. In other words, each one of us in our own individual way is doing the very best that we can to optimize the situation, our talents and gifts and resources, because we're learning how to do that. We have learned how to do that, and we're continuing to learn how to do that here in an environment like Terra Lumination. Okay? So in other words, we're very valuable to each other. What about now? Let's face it, it's been very, very tough. With the King of Cups here, my feeling is that if we're all honest with each other, by living this life, by committing to almost ruthless commitment to facing our fears, facing into the unknown, understanding that we have a high degree of innocence and vulnerability, and yet knowing that we've come in with the best of intentions anyway, we all understand and agree that we have put ourselves at great risk of being hurt. in the heart, okay, in the soul, in the guts of our being. But does that stop us? No. We keep going anyway, because we're all radiating here in the moment now the energy of the King of Cups in such a way that we are determined to maintain this most supreme high frequency of loving energy against all odds. And that requires a huge, deep commitment to self-love, love of self, okay? And we endorse that with ourselves and with each other. To me, there's no team cards here right now, but to me it feels like each one of us would recognize the sovereignty of self in each other. In other words, imagine if each one of us like a SWAT team, like one of those like super SEAL Team 6 people. And you have to do things in a team effort, but you also have to be supremely capable on your own as an individual. And it's just like that all for one, one for all energy, where in the now, in the present moment, we are all realizing that we are doing the very best that we can from the most loving perspective. And sometimes it's incredibly hard to do this. But does that stop us? No. And then we kind of do some kind of secret handshake with each other. Like, you know, we've got this, so that each one of us recognizes this as an individual. Okay, hold on. I hope that makes sense. What I'm trying to suggest here when I see the King of Cups in the now is just that it's a recognition that you, each one of the viewers, is operating from the highest levels of integrity from here. Even though you are facing huge obstacles, you know, whatever it might be, your love life, your finances, your health, your community, your friends, your family, your loved ones, whatever it is, okay? Each one of us is doing the best that we can against all odds, because we can see that it is worth doing. And then we become symbols of excellence to each other. Okay? So I hope that part makes sense. So what about our decision-making processes? This is, to me, it looks like a lot of pressure to make very, very deliberate, self-loving decisions almost against all odds, knowing that we are constantly facing the unknown, uncharted territories. Well, my personal belief is that, yes, this is true. And so we're being challenged to make very tough decisions all day, every day. 10, 20, 50, 100 decisions. Maybe one critical decision that's been on your mind for days or weeks or months. Either way, making the decision, knowing that you don't necessarily know the outcome. But that's the whole essence of decision making. Knowing that you have to make a decision ultimately to love thyself. What is the most loving thing you can do for you right now? And then figure out what that is and then do it. So with the Five of Cups here, my feeling it's on the understanding that each one of us has to face our grief, our deepest sorrows, our deepest pains and deepest sufferings in this process going forward. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It just sometimes can be very painful to make the most loving decisions that we have to make, because it means facing all the failures of poor decisions in our past, our innocence from the past, our ignorance from the past, our lack of support from the past. And we've done the best that we can. And all of us, each one of us here, has our own unique stories of tragedy, failure, pain, loss, and suffering. But that doesn't stop us from making the decisions that we have to make, because we know that life goes on. Life goes on, people, and there is more love to be had. There is a little beautiful Two of Cups here, always waiting for us, okay? But we have to move on. We have to continually face into the unknown. So how do we do this effectively? It requires huge amounts of bravery and courage, dignity and mastery. Okay, we see it as an opportunity. In other words, please see every failure, every tragedy, every loss as an opportunity to make very bold, brave decisions to move forward in ways that we've never done before. In other words, we can learn huge amounts from the pain and the suffering that each one of us has endured, each in our own unique way. And then you realize that, wow, it is a common denominator between all of us. Each one of us has, I would say, epic stories of tragedy, pain, loss, and suffering somewhere inside of us, and where it's not the details of the story what counts. What really counts is the common theme of tragedy, pain, loss, and suffering. But do we let that defeat us? No. We treat it as an opportunity to move forward, and we go forward from there. So we treat all of this as a chance of sacred opportunity. We're in other words, it's like seize the moment, seize the day, go forward anyway. Okay, understanding that it's almost like, hold on, it's just like the planets don't really care what you do or how you do it. They're just going to continue anyway. And if you suffer and die and collapse, it will be literally like being crushed by a bulldozer. They don't care. Nobody cares. And so if you make a decision to wipe out and self-destruct, then it's just like everybody kind of goes, oh, that's really sad. But the rest of us, we just have to keep going. So I'm not trying to target anyone here specifically, but please understand that life moves on anyway. It's literally, it never, ever, ever, ever stops. It's continually changing, permanently, ever moving into the unknown. We might think we have stability and structures and endurance and, things that are locked in, but it's not so. Everything is constantly changing, and right now we're undergoing huge, let's say, cataclysmic, very deep transformational healings at the foundations of planet Earth. That's how I look at it. With Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter all coming up to some sort of alignment in 2020, it's a serious global reality check for everybody. And the way it works is for the bold. In other words, just diving into it. Okay? If you feel that you need to hold on to the past, hold on to existing structures, you're only going to increase the pain. And so it's better to just see everything that's happening, all the churning, the shifting, the changing, and the pressure and the stress and the pain. See that as an opportunity for evolutionary growth so that we can evolve, grow, and adapt and blossom instead of just the opposite. In other words, if you don't seize the opportunity, if we don't, then we end up, there's no growth, there's no evolution, there's no adaptation, and there's no blossom. We wither. And so when we do this effectively, understanding that in some ways it's very, very painful to evolve, we co-create. And we get forced into, okay, a lot of people might not like this. It's almost like we get forced into an acknowledgement of selfhood, our solitary, singular selfhood, where you realize that you are a single entity on planet Earth, where you have to figure out your own path. But one of the best ways to do that is in a situation where each one of us is like this, having to figure out our destiny and path together. In other words, by going into this sacred journey, into the sacred unknown, going in with our innocence and our courage, putting our best foot forwards, maintaining our integrity against all odds, knowing that we are going to face our own shadows of grief and suffering, pain and trauma from the past, and deciding that, damn it, this is actually a sacred opportunity, we can learn and discover from each other's stories. In other words, each one of us here is going to have our own individual, unique stories of singular discovery of evolution, adaptation, growth, and blossoming. Okay? And each story is going to be different, but the common theme is the singularity of self and discovering that's all there is. You have to go within, as within, so without. The answers lie within, always. Okay, so in so doing, let's say you can't handle the pain and the suffering, and you decide the pain and the suffering is just too much. I am going to default to the status quo, and I'm just going to let someone else make my decisions in life for me. You basically lock it in to unending recycling pain, suffering, anxiety, paranoia that just goes on and on and on and on, where there's like no cure. When you face into the pain and the suffering, you see it as a chance to opportunity to grow, and it is your own individual path. The way I look at it here, it is a chance to face down your fears and sufferings and understand that it's all in the mind, and then you get to reveal it, to heal it, and you realize, oh my God, we've all been suffering from like mass global hysteria, global paranoia, global global frustration. Okay? I don't know, to me this feels like the energy of the collective, on a global scale. I'm seeing this as very much to do with what's happening in January 2020. And so when you live this in a very rich, authentic, very courageous way, understanding that we're all in this together and we have a common theme, we get to expose all the doo-doo that impedes us. And so this is tremendous relief here. Relief from all the pain and suffering by facing into the pain and suffering. That's how I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling here. So it's kind of a beautiful thing. As scary as that card is, I see it as a sacred opportunity. Going forward, we grow from this. We mature. We evolve. Adapt, grow, prosper, and blossom from all of this. And we do it by deliberately facing courageously into the unknown, where all our fear and shadows and pain and suffering and trauma lie, so buried, but so close to the surface that is deeply screaming out for healing. And obviously, the more painful it is, the more we want to suppress it, because we don't want to reveal the pain for the suffering for the healing, because it means having to feel that pain. So there's a tendency to want to suppress it. But my feeling here with this is that each time we reveal another layer of pain that needs healing, we grow from this. We treat it as like, bring it on, bring it on. Bring it on. Bring on the next one. Bring on the next one. I will only grow stronger. Thank you very, very, very much. Bring it on, people. And so this is, to me, this is almost like the energy of the warrior getting prepared to face battle, where they are pumping themselves up and they're saying, you know what? That's okay. I can handle this. I know I'm going to experience extreme fear, sadness, grief, paranoia, trauma, suffering. But you know what? I will prosper, I will win, and I will grow, and I will blossom from this. I will mature from all of this. But we do it holding hands. We do it by helping each other. Okay, that's the whole point here. We help each other to live through this. You can't do this on your own. We literally, truly need like a support group to do this. That's what I feel is happening here. Like we are our own support group. And we empower each other. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave it at that. Hold on. Hold on. Let's have a look. I just want to check the screen for a minute and see, hold on, what's going on there. Some of you nutty people. Let's have a look. LES wants a lobotomy. Anyone know where I can get that done? And Getty is offering his services. He's a doctor, apparently. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's beautiful. So I'm glad you're making your own interpretations of the reading and seeing how you can help and each other to evolve and grow, adapt and blossom. That's fine. Each one of us is highly, uniquely individual, and we have our own pathways that are going to evolve. But it's weird. We're doing it kind of like as a team. Have you ever seen those bicycle crews, like those people who get those road bikes, those racing bikes, and they go around in these clusters and they kind of zoom around, they kind of go in packs, and they're all chatting to each other like, hey, watch out for the road ahead. Oh, there's a red light, there's a green light. And if somebody crashes, they kind of all stop and help each other, and then they get on with the show. That's kind of what I'm sensing here, okay? Gosh, I hope that reading makes sense to you. It made a lot of sense to me because I was feeling it. I felt like I was watching a movie where I was observing things that are happening in my own life, and I realized, oh my gosh, this is much bigger than my personal life. This has significance to a lot of people, and of course, the people are you guys. Thank you very, very much. All right, I'm going to go back here. Let's have a look. Okay, good night, Pat. I see you there. Thank you for hanging in. Thank you, Primary. Thank you, Ubasti. Thank you all. So let's call it an early night, people. Let's wrap it up really soon here. I'm going to have a little bit of, I just want to have a little bit of fun, if you don't mind. I'm going to play this, it's a song called Wonder Ride, okay? Because it's all so epic. It's all so epic, okay? I wrote this for my sweetheart, okay? It sounds like this. Let's have a look.
Okay, we are rolling. So, this is a birthday present from my sweetheart. Just wanted to share this. Okay, here we go. It's called Wonder Ride.
Hold on. It'll start in a moment.
My dear, this is my birthday present to you, to celebrate the day that heaven made you. It's remarkable that we both found one another. And the day we set out on our transformation ride with each other at each other's side, it soon became evident that we are both changing. And it's such a wonder ride, my dear. Yes, it's such a wonder ride. Hold on tight, tightly, my dear. And now that our journey, it starts to unfold in a multi-dimensional world of untold delights that truly defy the imagination. You've literally taking it upon yourself to document all of the nuances that go to make up a story of extraordinary proportions. And it's such a wonder ride, my dear. Yes, it's such a wonder ride. Hold on tight, tightly, my dear. It's such a wonder ride, my dear. Yes, it's such a wonder ride. Hold on tight, tightly, my dear.
Well.
So there you go.
I'm going to play another song now. It's called Because I Care, Because I Do. Okay? It sounds like this. And Nikki might know this one. Hold on. Here, it sounds like this. It's a long song. Please bear with me.
Let's dissolve our pain and get out of danger. Heal all the wounds and cure all the anger. I'll be the doctor, you be the patient. Here is your medicine, I'll help you take it. No, it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. It wipes out the fear and makes you live longer. It's not a lotion, it's no magic potion. It's just a dose of love in the moment. I'll watch you while you're lying there, while your eyes are closed and your heart is bare. Perfectly still, but still aware. And I'm right here because I care, because I care. Holding your hand, I know you can feel me. I'll talk in a whisper, I know you can hear me. When you awaken, when we are conscious, totally healed and cured, just watch this. No more weeping, no more sadness. Gone is the fighting, gone is the madness. We can choose to become alive or just disappear or become survivors. I'll watch you while you're lying there, while your eyes are closed and your heart is bare. Perfectly still, but still aware. And I'm right here because I care, because I care. We're not gonna let you go down in flames. No. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna do this right. yourself.